Naruto Cultivating in the Hidden Sand Village with Pokémon. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 101, Control of the Hidden Mist Village. Deleting memories plus implanting memories through illusion. This is a disguised form of memory modification. Compared to the Sharingan's ability to change one's will, Muto's ability is even more incredible. Because the subject will never realize that he is being controlled. Muto's body emits blue light, and its consciousness penetrates into Kirako's brain, recording Kirako's life afterwards. Muto erased all of Kirako's memories. With all his memories deleted, Kirako is now like a blank sheet of paper, allowing Muto to color him. Muto began to construct illusions, combining them with Kirako's original memories to write Kirako's new life. This is a massive project, as Muto needs to simulate decades of experience without any logical fallacies. This method cannot be used too often, otherwise Muto may suffer from memory disorder, lose self-awareness, and have a drastic change in personality. Kirako is currently in a fantasy world, experiencing the life that Muto has arranged for him ever since he could remember. At the age of 3, he had been a member of the Sand Village Orphanage. It was the first Kazekage Ryoto who took him away from the orphanage and gave him a new life. He was born in the Sand Village, but possesses a strong talent for water-based ninjutsu. Ryoto saw his talent, took him in as his apprentice, and personally taught him the skills of a spy. After he finished his studies, he was sent to the Hidden Mist Village by Ryoto to work as a spy. Ryoto promised that as long as he stayed for 3 years, he would take him back to Tsunagakure. However, due to his outstanding talent, he was valued by the first Mizukage Byakuren and eventually became Byakuren's disciple. Kirako's new memories in the Hidden Mist Village are the same as before. He was robbed of the position of the second Mizukage by Hazuki Jinjutsu, and he became the third Mizukage. Although the experiences are the same, the starting points are different. For example, in Blood Mist Village, Kirako's real purpose is to weaken the Hidden Mist Village and help Tsunagakure control the Hidden Mist Village. For example, the feud between Hazuki Jinjutsu and Wu was provoked in order to provoke a war between the two ninja villages of Karigakure and Iwagakure, so that Sand Village could benefit. 2 hours later, Kirako, who was lying on the bed, opened his eyes. Seeing Luo Sha and Muto, Kirako was startled at first, then he reacted and immediately bowed to Luo Sha and said, "Greetings, Lord Luo Sha." Kirako looked excited, as if he had met his idol. That's right, an idol. This was Luo Sha's request. Luo Sha hoped that Kirako could admire him. Muto met this small request of Luo Sha in Kirako's memory. Luo Sha was Kirako's liaison superior in the Sand Village. Only Shagu and Rasa know Kirako's identity as a spy. Rasa is the hero of the Sand Village, the one who truly led the rise of Sand Village, and the father of Pokémon. Kirako devoted his life to the rise of Tsunagakure, and Rasa fulfilled his dream, so he naturally admired Rasa very much. Luo Sha gave Muto a satisfied love you look and reached out to help Kirako up. "Kirako, I've wronged you over the years. Tsunagakure has become the #1 ninja village in the ninja world, and Karigakure is no longer a threat to Tsunagakure. From now on, Tsunagakure's policy towards Karigakure will change. There is no need to weaken Karigakure anymore. Start training Karigakure ninjas. Sand Village needs Karigakure's help." Luo Sha has been coveting Karigakure for a long time. With Kirako as their accomplice, Karigakure will completely become Tsunagakure's follower. As long as they are educated well, future Mizukages will become spiritual sand hermits. "Tell me about the current situation of Karigakure." Luo Sha pulled Kirako to sit on the sofa and began to inquire about the news of Karigakure. There are more than 85 ninjas in the Hidden Mist Village, including 303 Jonin, 6,200 special Jonin, more than Chunin, and more than Jinan. Currently, the Three-Tails Jinchuriki of Karigakure is in an unstable situation, but the Six-Tails Jinchuriki is not in any problem. There is currently a fierce conflict between the clan faction and the civilian faction in the Hidden Mist Village. The clan faction is stronger, and I have been suppressing the clan faction ninjas. Among them, the Kaguya clan is the most aggressive, followed by the Kazuna clan and the Mizunatsuki clan. Kirako revealed all of Karigakure's secrets to Rasa. What talented ninjas are there in Karigakure now? Luo Sha really couldn't remember which geniuses there were in Karigakure during this period of time. Education must start from a young age. If you want Karigakure to be completely loyal in the future, The education of the next generation of ninjas is very important. Karatechi. Yagura, male, 13 years old, has become a special jonin and has the potential to become a Kage. I accepted him as my apprentice 3 years ago. The other children don't have particularly outstanding talents. It turns out that those geniuses of Karigakure have not been born yet. Among the Karigakure ninjas, Rasa's favorite are Kisame and Kaguya Kimimaro. Both of them are loyal, trustworthy, grateful people, and extremely talented. Kanfei Kisame is the younger brother that Rasa reserved for himself, and Kaguya Kimimaro is the younger brother that Rasa reserved for Gaara. Bai, Sujetsu Hazuki and others are naturally the younger brothers reserved for Gaara. The arrangements for the geniuses of Karigakure are very clear. As a die-hard fan of Gaara, Rasa is just waiting to grow up and become a father, but unfortunately he is only 11 years old now. Do we have to wait until the year of the monkey and the horse? Now I can only use Scorpion as a substitute. In fact, Scorpion is also super fragrant, not inferior to Gaara, but the feeling of raising a younger brother is different from that of raising a son. The young patriarchs of the three major families are also talented and may become Kage-level warriors in the future, but the hope is not great. Kiriko's words brought Luo Sha back to his senses. After understanding the basic situation of Karigakure, Luo Sha had already made arrangements for Karigakure. Start the reform of Karigakure village. First, ease the internal conflicts and completely control Karigakure. If you can't defeat the family faction, then divide the family faction's power, win over some and eliminate some. In the future, Karigakure will develop elves by starting with understanding elf knowledge. We must implement the elf protection law and severely punish violators. Luo Sha took out a pile of books and a Pokémon encyclopedia and gave them to Kiriko. Give me a map of the hidden mist village, and I'll go talk to the Kaguya family. Yes, Kiriko handed a map to Luo Sha, and Luo Sha and Muto disappeared from the room instantly. On the other side, the Hyuga clan's territory, Kaguya Menma was fighting hard on the bed. As the head of the Kaguya clan, he had paid too much for the revival of the clan. Everyone in the Kaguya clan is short-lived. In order to maintain the number of members and prevent the Kaguya clan from being exterminated, they can only rely on having more lives to maintain the clan's fortunes. Rasa and Muto made a hole in the roof. They lay on the roof and looked at the hot scene in the room, looking at each other in bewilderment. They wanted to teleport directly into the room, but Muto realized something was wrong and teleported to the roof. I didn't expect to watch a live sex show. 2 minutes later, the fighting in the room stopped. Menma felt that his life was so miserable. For the sake of his family, he fought with the Mizukage and his wife. He couldn't defeat the Mizukage in the village, and he had no children in his family. No, I must have a baby. When Menma thought of this, he raised his waist again and came to his wife. Husband, don't. Luo Sha, who was about to enter the room, stopped and lay down to check the situation in the room through the hole. Criticize. Criticize harshly. Chapter 102, The Hyuga clan is rich in beauties? New round of battle has begun. A few minutes later, the wind died down, and Menma twitched, emptying magazine. Another Menma lay down, thinking about his failed life, tears streaming down his face. As the head of the Kaguya clan, he awakened his corpse vein at a young age, became an elite jonin at the age of 18, and became the clan head. Now he is 20 years old and is already the strongest in the family. If he is given another 3 years, he is confident that he will be able to break through to the Kage level, but he is running out of time. His blood disease is getting worse and worse, and he can only live for a year at most. He doesn't have any children yet. Naruto is more ancient, and places great emphasis on blood inheritance, especially bloodline families. Menma felt bitter and climbed to his feet, lying on top of his wife once more. Luo Sha, who was about to take action, stopped again and the corner of his mouth twitched. He should have just gone down directly. Wasn't it possible that Kaguya would be frightened to death? Luo Sha clenched his fists and continued to lie in front of the hole to observe. Same action as before, nothing new. Another round of fighting ended. Luo Sha no longer waited and appeared directly in the room. Ah! Menma's wife screamed in fear and fainted. Who are you? What do you want to do? Someone, come, Kaguya. Menma looked at the two figures that suddenly appeared in front of him with horror. He wanted to use the corpse bone vein to attack, but his body seemed to be bound by an invisible force and he could not exert any strength. You can scream, but no one will come to save you even if you scream your throat out. Luo Sha smiled evilly with a crooked villain, revealing the expression of an AGGGG Jenger. found this scene extremely amusing and crawled out from the shadows, grinning mouth evilly. Ah! Ghost, eh? Dark creature crawled out from the shadows, its bloodshot eyes and gaping mouth staring straight at Menma. Menma was so frightened that he couldn't help but scream in fear. However, as a well-trained ninja, his willpower and professionalism did not cause him to completely collapse or pass out. Hey! Hey, stop screaming. How can a grown man like you scream louder than your wife? Luo Sha covered his ears, and a gold dust stick hit Menma. Menma suddenly fell silent, looking at Rasa and Jengar in the shadows with horror. He's not afraid of anything except ghosts. Unexpectedly, he really ran into a ghost. He didn't do anything wrong. He doesn't have any children yet. He can't die. Woo woo woo. Woo 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 woo. Menma couldn't help it and hid in the corner of the bed, hugging the quilt, crying out in anger. If the Karigakure ninja knew that the usually hot-tempered leader Shagu Ai had such a side, they would definitely be shocked. Luo Sha was confused. Is he so scary? Follow me as your lord. I can cure the Shagu Ai clan's bloodline disease. Luo Sha ignored Menma's crying and went straight to the point. Really? Menma stopped crying immediately, raised his head and looked at Luo Sha in surprise. The big red eyes blinked, and I felt pity for them. Menma's pretty face and expression were so unbearable that Luo Sha couldn't bear to look at him. Luckily I'm straight. Really? Just tell me if you are willing to serve me as your lord. Luo Sha gritted his teeth. He always felt that the Hyuga clan might be a little different from what he imagined. He originally thought that the Hyuga clan was a group of hot-tempered and reckless men, who also had some mental problems due to their bloodline disease. In other words, a bunch of nerves. But Shagu Ai Menma, master, do you have any way to save me? Menma grabbed the corner of Luo Sha's clothes and looked up at Luo Sha hesitantly. Don't. Come over here. Luo Sha immediately pulled away Menma and retreated behind Mutuo. Call me Lord Luo Sha. Don't call me such a weird name. Yes, Master Luo Sha. Then, do you have any method to restore my blood disease? Is it some kind of devilish method? Menma glanced at Jengar in fear. If he could recover, then the ghost would not be a problem either. Don't. You suspect that I am deceiving you? No, you could kill me easily, but you didn't, which means I am valuable to you. If you have a way to save the Shagu Ai clan, then what if the Shagu Ai clan obeys you? We have been tortured by the blood disease for so many years, and finally see the hope of recovery. Please save our Shagu Ai clan. Menma became more and more excited as he spoke, and he knelt down in front of Luo Sha. Put on your clothes first. Oh. Well, after Shagu Ai Menma was fully dressed, Luo Sha walked up to Shagu Ai Menma and put his hand against his chest. The light of Takua's power lit up, and Shagu Ai Menma felt a sense of relief in her body, and the pain in her body gradually disappeared. The light dissipated, and Shagu Ai Menma immediately pulled a bone knife out of her body without feeling any pain. His blood disease became more and more serious, and he would feel pain in his body every time he used the corpse meridian. This time using the corpse bone vein went exceptionally smoothly. Thank you for saving me, sir. Shagu Ai Menma knelt down and kowtowed with excitement. The Shagu Ai clan was saved. Tomorrow, gather all the ninjas of the Shagu Ai clan who are suffering from bloodline diseases. I will heal them. This is not a permanent treatment. The bloodline disease of the corpse bloodline will worsen with the frequency of using bloodline. You may suffer from bloodline disease again in the future. When the time comes, please contact me through the Pokemon book. Luo Sha gave Shagu Ai Menma a Pokemon illustrated book, which was considered as recognition of this new subordinate. The next day, all 22 members of the Shagu Ai clan gathered together. These 22 people have one thing in common: they have all awakened their corpse bone veins. There are more than 22 ninjas in the Hyuga clan, but only of them have awakened their bloodline limits. The Shagu Ai clan inherited from Shagu Ai Otsutsuki, and their corpse bone veins are very powerful. Once awakened, they can all grow into elite Jonin. If it weren't for their short life, the Hyuga clan could have produced 7 or 8 cage-level warriors by relying on their corpse bone veins. It's no exaggeration. The corpse bloodline doesn't need to evolve as much as the Sharingan and Byakugan, but as a price, those who have awakened their corpse veins will not live past the age of 25. Most people who awaken a corpse vein die at the age of 22 or 23, and have no time to grow to the level of Kage. All the bloodline awakeners summoned by Shagu Ai Menma are the absolute top leaders of the Shagu Ai clan. Luo Sha looked at the 22 Hyuga people in front of him, 14 men and 8 women. They are all very young. The youngest is only 12 years old and the oldest is only 22 years old. That is, why do they all look so good? The ninja of the Hyuga clan has pure white hair, eyes as green as emerald green, and a touch of enchanting red eyeshadow on her eyelids. There are 2 striking red dots between their eyebrows, and in order to facilitate the use of the bloodline limit corpse meridian, they all wore very revealing clothes. The male ninjas were fine, they wore loose clothes without even a belt, revealing their white chests. They can use the corpse vein to fight simply by taking off their clothes. Female ninjas are more open. They wrap bandages directly on their chests, wearing very cool clothes, and can use the corpse bone vein at any time. These bone-playing ninjas are all thin with cold white skin. The men are beautiful, and the women are even more beautiful. If I had to use one word to describe them, it would be pure and charming. The Hyuga people themselves have pure looks, and their emerald green pupils are stunningly beautiful, but the red dots on the forehead and the red eyeshadow on the eyelids add a sense of charm. If their last name wasn't Kaguya, Luo Sha would have doubted his life. Isn't it said that the Kaguya clan has a bad reputation? Isn't it said that everyone in the Hyuga clan is rebellious at heart, and is the #1 unstable factor in Karigakure? Aren't they all crazy people of the Hyuga clan? Now that Luo Sha has entered the nest of beauties, it is necessary for him to fight against evil for the Hyuga clan. He speaks. Chapter 103 Kaguya Family. Kaguya and Mizunatsuki are both from a group with high looks in Karigakure, but unlike Mizunatsuki, who has generally high looks, Kaguya is only a ninja with high looks who has awakened her corpse bone vein. Therefore, if a child of the Kaguya clan shows outstanding appearance from an early age, he or she will be vigorously cultivated for Kaguya. Talent is not as important as appearance. Kaguya's standards would seem outrageous to any other ninja clan, but they seem normal to Kaguya. Because Kaguya's upper echelons are all awakened corpse bone veins, and they are all crazy. They agree with the idea that only those with good looks can awaken the corpse bone veins. Kaguya Menma's appearance is the minimum standard for awakening the corpse bone vein. 22 white-haired beauties came in front of Luo Sha. All of them stared at Luo Sha with wide eyes in anticipation. They heard from the clan leader that Luo Sha could cure their bloodline disease. The patriarch's illness has been cured. Luo Sha touched his heart. Fortunately, he was a die-hard fan of red hair, and he also became a member of the red hair family, otherwise he would have rebelled on the spot. Monster, don't even think about destroying his moral integrity. He announced that he would be the one protecting the Kaguya clan from now on. He will never come to the Hyuga clan's territory again. It's too dangerous. Lord Rasa, all the Kaguya ninjas who have awakened their corpse veins are here. 15 elite Jonin and 7 Jonin. Kaguya Menma, who had the lowest appearance among the 22 people, stood up and introduced herself to Rasa with a proud look on her face. Well, you guys line up and come one by one. Luo Sha spent the entire afternoon in the Kaguya clan's territory, healing the 21 beauties. After each Kaguya ninja is healed, they will quickly use the corpse bone vein to pull the bone knife out of their body. After discovering that they were truly cured, they all looked at Luo Sha with admiration, very fanatical. Luo Sha healed the last Kaguya member and breathed a sigh of relief. 21 people were still a bit too many, and Luo Sha almost couldn't handle it. Lord Luo Sha, do you need us to migrate to the sand village? Kaguya Menma stepped forward at this time and bowed to ask, no need. I have already cooperated with the 3rd Mizukage, and he will not embarrass Kaguya anymore. I hope you can support the Mizukage in the future and work together to develop the Hidden Mist village. Luo Sha waved his hand and refused. If Kaguya stays in Karigakure, she can cooperate with Karikwa to better control Karigakure. For Rasa, will the 3rd Mizukage accept us? We had such a bad experience with him before. Kaguya Menma was worried and frowned. Don't worry, you don't trust Karikwa, but you can't trust me either? Take these books to the clan school and let the Kaguya children study. Luo Sha took out a pile of books, including books on Pokémon and many books on ideological education. As long as the hoe is wielded well, the Karigakure ninja is the sand hidden ninja. Not only children, but also adult members of the Kaguya tribe must learn this knowledge. This matter must be taken seriously. Luo Sha added that the Kaguya clan was already his subordinates, and he didn't want Kaguya to have any voice against him. Yes, I promise to satisfy you. 22 Kaguya Menma bowed, and the 21 Kaguya ninjas behind her followed suit. Well, I still need to stay in Karigakure for a while, so I'll live in the Kaguya clan's territory. Just clear out a room for me, Lord Rasa, please live in my house. I'm 18 years old, 168 centimeters tall, single, never been in a relationship, an elite Jonin, with a D.A. Kaguya ninja puffed out her chest and boldly expressed her love. which shocked Luo Sha. "I have a fiancé." Luo Sha immediately stopped him. "I do not mind." "I don't mind either. I'm even more excited. I'm only 11 years old." Luo Sha emphasized again. "Is there such a good thing?" "What? Does that matter? The kid next door is 10 years old. Girls are 3 years older than you, so hold the gold bricks, Lord." "Luo Sha, I'm only 12 years old this year. You and I are the best match. I don't want this book to be banned." Luo Sha stood up and wanted to run, but was held back by a group of people. "Lord Luo Sha, actually I can do it too." A male voice came from the side, and the scene suddenly became quiet. Hiss. 22 Luo Sha took advantage of everyone's shock and slipped away immediately. He will never come to the Hyuga clan's territory again. They are indeed a bunch of lunatics. In the end, Karula arranged a yard for Rasa, and Rasa stayed in the hidden Karigakure village temporarily. Luo Sha still has one thing to do, to subdue the three-tailed beast. The tailed beasts can help elves become sages, so there is no way Rasa will let them go. According to Luo Sha's guess, the three-tailed Isabu should belong to the water type, and the six-tailed rhino dog should belong to the poison type. The Vulpix will remain in the hidden mist village for the time being. As the hidden sands village currently has no use for the Vulpix, it will still be in time to collect the six tails after the six tails Jinchuriki dies. Besides, if Luo Sha needs it, Karula will definitely offer Vulpix to him with both hands. The three tails represent the water system, and Sand Village has a need for it. Especially after the establishment of the river and sea habitats in the river country, many sand ninjas went to capture water-type Pokémon. Nami specializes in water-type Pokémon, and 7 of the 2 water-type Pokémon can try Sage Mode, namely Milotic and Blastoise. Milotic is of high level, but its individual value is 2 volt, and its qualifications are relatively low. Blastoise's qualifications are high enough, but its level is low. There is almost no hope for Nami's other 5 water-type Pokémon to activate Sage Mode among them. Once Milotic learns the Sage Mode, there is a high probability that it will break through the cage level and become the 6th cage level Pokémon in Sand Village. Luo Sha's Frog King level has reached LV 53, and can also complete the Sage Mode through the chakra of the three-tailed Isabu Sidic. Should be able to do that too. Greninja is currently at LV 39 and will need some time to grow. Karigakure is now considered one of his own, and Luo Sha has always been generous towards his own people. Luo Sha will not get the favor from Jifu for free. As compensation, Sukyun of the new island habitat will replace the three-tailed Isafu and become the new generation guardian of the hidden mist village. Mutuo transmitted his voice thousands of miles away, and soon after, Sukyun walked on the seawater and came to Rosa. Name Sukyun. Gender, none. Attribute water. Features, pressure level, LV 76, mid-level shadow. Individual, 3 volt, HP 27, attack 20, defense 30, special attack 31, special defense 31, speed 31, skills. Briefly, Luo Sha captured Sukyun with 1 Pokeball, and then released Sukyun from the Pokeball, lighting up a new achievement. New achievement, Incarnation of the North Wind. Congratulations to the host for taming Sukyun and obtaining 1 Sukyun Mega Evolution Stone, Suikun. From now on, Karigakure is your territory. This will not restrict your freedom. You can go wherever you want. But if Karigakure is in trouble, we need your protection. Luo Sha put the evolution stone on Sukyun's neck and stroked Sukyun's forehead. The cool touch made him unable to let go. Woo, I like staying at home, staying in the new island every day. Protecting the hidden mist village is just a matter of convenience. Sukyun rubbed Luo Sha's hand affectionately. Luo Sha had the aura of Ho-Oh, which made it very fond of him. This is the trainer that Mutuo follows. Sukyun decides to curry favor with him and strive to become the leader of the 3 sacred beasts in this world. Sukyun is not worried about Entei at all, but Reikao is a big threat to him. Chapter 104, Karigakure Meeting. 2 days later, Karula convened a Mizukage meeting and announced the abolition of the Blood Mist Village policy. Karula's actions were supported by civilian ninjas and family ninjas, and the Blood Mist Village was officially abolished. Afterwards, Karula announced that Karigakure had entered the age of Pokémon and started the new Pokémon policy. Karigakure is vigorously developing trainers, and all Karigakure ninjas must learn elf studies and abide by the elf protection law. The Karigakure ninjas looked at each other. They were all confused. The most surprising thing is that the leader of the family faction, the Kaguya clan, Karula's archenemy, was the first to support Karakawa's decision. Chiefs Hazuki and Mizunatsuki looked at Kaguya Menma in shock. What are you doing? What happened to the three major families being of the same blood? How did you end up wearing enemy clothes? Kaguya Menma's rebellion made the leader of the Kazuna clan extremely upset. Back then, Hazuki Genjutsu snatched the position of the second-generation Mizukage from Karakawa, and Karakawa hated the Hazuki clan the most. After Karakawa came to power, the Kido clan developed in a low-key manner, trying not to stand out as much as possible so that Karakawa could not find any fault with him. Fortunately, there is the Kaguya clan. The Kaguya clan is the most aggressive, and they discuss rebellion in their clan territory every day. The key is that they didn't even try to hide the truth, and the entire Hidden Mist village knew that Kaguya was going to rebel. Kaguya attracted most of Karakawa's firepower for Kazuna. The Mizunatsuki clan followed behind Kaguya, strongly supporting her while also distancing themselves from her. Kaguya's rebellion has nothing to do with me, Mizunatsuki. Mizunatsuki only wanted to rebel against a Blood Mist village, not to betray. Patriarch Mizunatsuki knew very well that without cage-level combat power, the family faction had no chance of winning. Treason is tantamount to seeking death. Now, the Kaguya clan has reconciled with the Mizukage, so who is the Mizukage's #1 enemy? The Ghost Lantern clan. When the Mizunatsuki clan leader thought of this, he breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, the Kazuna clan was still there to support him. Chief Mizunatsuki felt relieved, but Chief Kido felt like he was sitting on pins and needles, as if there was something stuck in his throat and a thorn in his back. If Karakawa wants to settle accounts with the Kido clan will have no chance of winning. Hazuki Genjutsu founded the 7 ninja swordsmen of the Ninja Swordsmen, and the first generation of the 7 ninja swordsmen belonged to Hazuki's force. After Karakawa came to power, he massacred the first generation of 7 and selected the second generation of 7 who were loyal to Karakawa. The current 7 ninja swordsmen are the swords that Karakawa uses to chop at the Kido clan, murder and kill. There are no ninjas with outstanding talents in Hazuki's generation, and there are currently no children with the potential to become cage-level players in the next generation. The Ghost Lantern clan still looks strong, but the clan leader knows very well that the Ghost Lantern clan has reached its weakest period in history. Why did Kaguya and her group of guys who only have good looks but no brains join the Mizukage? How could Karakawa accept Kaguya's surrender? Everyone knows how crazy Kaguya is. Isn't Karakawa asking for trouble? The Ghost Lantern tribe leader racked his brains but still couldn't figure it out. After the Hyuga clan surrendered, the family faction was without a leader for a while, and all the family faction ninjas focused their attention on clan leaders Hazuki and Mizunatsuki. Kaguya looked at the confused faces of these people with pride. Who would have thought that Kaguya would have found a golden thigh once upon a time? He was also the protagonist on the stage, performing for others now. Not only has Kaguya recovered from her bloodline disease, but her life is also better since Luo Sha values Kaguya so much. The Mizukage Karakawa will naturally treat Kaguya with courtesy and will not offend them. Sir, it's time to eat feces. Kaguya Menma smiled and took a sip of tea and continued watching the show. The leader of the Guideng tribe thought a lot in an instant and found that showing weakness and surrendering was the best way out for Guideng at the moment. My Hazuki clan is willing to submit to Lord Mizukage and support the new Pokémon policy. Hazuki needs time, waiting for the birth of a powerful cage-level warrior. Chieftain of the Kido surrendered to Karakawa in public. All the ninjas from the family became dispirited and looked at Chieftain of the Mizunatsuki with hope. Chief Mizunatsuki was under tremendous pressure as everyone was looking at him. My Mizunatsuki clan is also willing to submit to the Mizukage and support the new Pokémon policy. As a veteran, the Mizunatsuki clan leader was unwilling to stand up against Karakawa. Okay, from today on, Kirigakure will establish a new department, the Spirit Department, with Kaguya Menma as the director. The Elf Center will be built in the commercial street in the center of Kirigakure. All the elf businesses in Kirigakure will be carried out in the Elf Center. Karakawa issued orders one after another, and the entire Kirigakure started to move at a rapid speed, embracing the Pokémon era. Some of the orders are rather confusing. For example, students in the ninja school must not only study elf studies, but also ideological and political studies. The teachers of ideology and politics are all ninjas that have never been heard of, but no one dared to raise any objection. The family faction collapsed overnight, and Kaguya, as the culprit, was met with hostility from the family faction. Some family-based ninjas gathered together and raised the banner of resistance against Kaguya. Then, Kaguya's bloodline ninjas came to kill the family, Using the corpse vein unscrupulously to silence the family faction, their right hands were stained with blood, and their bony fingers were holding bone knives. They looked at the fallen bodies of their former colleagues and laughed wildly. Ha ha ha, ha 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 ha. The area within 100 meters was filled with bone spurs, and on the bone spurs were broken corpses. They felt like they were standing in a sea of blood and corpses. This scene scared many of the civilian ninjas who were watching. Once upon a time, Kaguya, as the leader of the family faction, wielded the butcher knife towards the civilian faction. However, because of the blood disease, Kaguya did not dare to use the corpse bone vein wantonly. When had they ever seen such a horrific scene? The civilian ninjas only then realized that Kaguya had held back when she faced them. Kaguya slaughtered thousands of ninjas, which might not be a big deal during the Blood Mist Village period. But now is the Pokemon era, and Karigakure must unite and be friendly. Kaguya committed a big taboo by doing this. The tribe leaders Hazuki and Mizunatsuki reported the case to the Mizukage, asking him to severely punish Kaguya. They wanted to force Karikal to punish Kaguya and create a rift between Karikal and Kaguya. Karikal started to smooth things over and tried to make excuses for Kaguya in various ways. Considering that it was Kaguya's first offense, I just let it go. Karigakure ninja, first offense? He's clearly a repeat offender. The family faction was immediately dissatisfied. Someone had died in each of their families, so how could they just let it go like this? Seeing this, Kaguya smiled evilly and fiddled with her body. The sound of bones crushing could be heard intermittently. Crack, crack, crack. A creepy voice sounded, frightening the others. Kaguya pulled out the bone powder and sprinkled it in front of everyone. Hi there. Was a sound of gasps, and suddenly no one dared to make a noise because they don't want to be ground into bone meal. This matter was exposed, and Karikal fined Kaguya 10 million Ryo. Kaguya controls the elf department. Kaguya now has both strength and power, and no one dares to offend the Kaguya clan anymore. The Hyuga clan's territory has been extremely busy these past 2 days, with people coming to give gifts everywhere. The civilian ninjas came to visit for the first time. They will be colleagues with Kaguya in the future, so they need to establish a good relationship in advance. Although Kaguya joined the civilian faction, the civilian ninjas felt miserable. They didn't know what had happened, why the Mizukage would accept the Kaguya clan. Didn't we agree to exterminate Kaguya's clan? Aren't these crazy men and women just good looking and a little bit stronger? It is true that things in this world are unpredictable and everything changes. The civilian ninjas tried hard to befriend Kaguya, fearing that they would be stabbed to death by the bone knife one day. The Hyuga clan is notoriously crazy and can think of any reason to kill people. They will stab you with a bone knife just because you are so ugly that it hurts my eyes. This reason is most commonly used by Kaguya ninja. There are also reasons such as I'm in a bad mood today, he is blocking my way, his eyes are disgusting, etc., which may be the reasons why Kaguya ninja pulled out the bone knife. In the past, Kaguya, as the leader of the family faction, relied on these bizarre reasons for killing to thrive in the Blood Mist Village, making the civilian ninjas miserable. However, now the Hyuga clan has rebelled against the civilian faction. From now on, Kaguya will target the family faction with her sword. The civilian ninja heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed like it would be nice to have these crazy people as teammates. At least they didn't have to worry about being chopped by them. The family-affiliated ninjas were terrified. They could only hope that Karigakure would enter the Pokemon era and that Kaguya would be more restrained. Chapter 105, Lottery, 2 Orbs. Karigakure launched the new Pokemon policy, and Luo Sha directly placed 20 green habitats in the Water Kingdom, naming them Water 1 to Water 20. There were no blue habitats or purple habitats in the system backpack, so Luo Sha started drawing the lottery directly. It is impossible to buy it, so I can only live by lottery. Luo Sha had 2,000 million elf coins left, and he made 1,800 draws at once, spending million elf coins this time. Xiao Ai seemed to have upgraded and did not make any strange electric sound. Xiao Ai, fortunately, I was prepared. Unsurprisingly, a big guarantee, 2 red and 20 orange light balls. There are 202 purple light balls and 2002 blue light balls, 2 more purple and 2 more blue than the guaranteed number. Luo Sha put all the blue, white and green light balls into the system backpack, and then began to check the prizes. First up are the elf eggs. 2002 blue light produced 50 Pokemon balls eggs. Luo Sha picked out a few Pokemon eggs that his younger brothers could use, and gave the rest to the Sand Village, allowing the ninjas to exchange them for contributions: 1 Queen of Flowers elf egg, 1 Miss Skirt elf egg, 1 Pumpkin Monster elf egg. These 3 grass-type Pokemon eggs can be given to Sarah. Sarah is determined to develop into the grass type and aspires to become a grass type master, dream-inducing taper elf egg 1. Sure enough, the elf egg 1. These 2 psychic type Pokemon belong to Nagato. After Nagato's Eevee reached a high enough intimacy, it evolved into Soul Eevee during the day. Nagato likes psychic type Pokemon very much and is determined to become a psychic type master. Kixie Bluebird elf egg 1. Old Man Dragon elf egg 1. These 2 dragon type Pokemon belong to Yohiko. Yohiko doesn't have a particular favorite attribute and prefers battles with reverse attributes. However, Yohiko thought that dragon-type Pokemon were super cool, and he kept telling Luo Sha about it every day, so Luo Sha naturally took note of it. Xiangjiu aspires to become a medical ninja, while Xiaonan is devoted to origami and has a high artistic talent. Their 2 elves make Luo Sha puzzled. Finally, Luo Sha found 2 elf eggs, almost all elf egg 2. After Nagato's Eevee evolved, Yohiko also used the top-level Firestone to evolve his Eevee into Flareon. Xiaonan's Eevee loves beauty and eventually evolves into Sylveon. The almost doll has fairy attributes and is suitable for being a medical ninja. Plus, its pink appearance makes it the most suitable for both of them. Nagato and his 4 companions are about to enter the ninja school, so this is a good opportunity to train 2 more Pokémons. The other younger brothers were still too young and not suitable for training too many elves. So Luo Sha stopped allocating them. 200 purple light balls gave rise to 4 purple quality elf eggs. Coconut Tree Pokemon Egg 1, Rogue Crocodile Pokemon Egg 1, Original Bird Pokemon Egg 1, Greatsword Ghost Pokemon Egg 1. Luo Sha thought for a long time before deciding on the ownership of the 3 elves. The Coconut Tree was given to Nagato for training. Although the Coconut Tree's performance in the animation was poor, in fact, the Coconut Tree has a race value of 530. Which is higher than some of the 3 starter Pokémons. The Coconut Tree is good enough to be one of Nagato's main elves. The Rogue Crocodile was handed over to Ebizo, but Ebizo was busy with work and had no time to go out and catch elves. Now he only has 1 Crystal Lamp Spirit. Chidio already has 3 Pokémon, and Ebizo needs to be strengthened. Otherwise, Ebizo will lie down in despair, and Rasa will have no fun watching him. It's quite entertaining to watch Ebizo trying to challenge Chidio's position and being bullied by Chidio every day. The ancestor bird was handed over to Orange Juro, who performed well in the rain country and made the river god cult flourish. He was also Luo Sha's direct subordinate. When it comes to good things, we naturally consider our own people first. Archaic Bird has a racial value of 567, which is the top existence among purple quality. It is definitely an underestimated Pokemon. The Architori can even serve as Orange Juro's first main force in the future and enter the cage level sequence. The Great Sword Demon was given to Zoro, as he was the only suitable person in the Sands Village. Great Sword Ghost is a water elf and can wield swords. Nami is the only senior person in the Sands Village who is training water-type Pokémons. Nami already has 7 Pokémon, and she can't breed more. What's more, Zoro cleaned up Nami's pornographic book incident and was also implicated in the crackdown on pornography. It was really miserable. After the elf eggs were distributed, Luo Sha began to organize other useful items: Orange Habitat Area 1, Purple Habitat Area 1, Blue Habitat Area 7, Green Habitat Area 67. Magic Candy, Orange, 2 Pokemon Medical Book, Orange, 1 Superpower, Orange, 1 Master Ball, Orange, 1. The orange quality does not have elf eggs, but it does get a better elf habitat. 2 magical candies, which are treasures kept in the bottom of the box, including the one he had saved before. Luo Sha now has 1. Mewtwo seems to be level 88. Luo Sha took out 3 more candies from the bottom of the box and put them in his pocket. I'll give it to Mewtwo later. Pokemon medical books are also invaluable. With a medical book, Sand Village can cultivate a Pokemon doctor exclusively for Pokemon. Psychic powers are the second special ability that Rasa obtained after Takua's power. The power of Takua and magnetic escape combine to create a powerful magic. What kind of changes can superpowers bring? With the guidance of Mewtwo, the psychic beast, by his side, it will be extremely easy for Luo Sha to cultivate his psychic powers to perfection. Finally, Luo Sha looked at the 2 most important red light balls, the Scarlet Orb and the beautiful Blue Orb, Vermilion Orb, an item that represents Groudon's original return. It contains Groudon's energy and is a ground-type regular treasure. Effect 1. If worn for a long time by a ground-type elf, it can slowly improve the elf's level and potential. Effect 2, ground-based skills bonus 50%. Effect 3, after swallowing the super shadow level ground elf, it will gain partial authority over the earth. Beautiful blue orb, a prop that represents Kyogre's original return. It contains Kyogre's energy and is a regular treasure of the water system. Effect 1, long-term wearing of water elves can slowly improve the level and potential of the elves. Effect 2, water skill bonus 50%. Effect 3, after swallowing the super shadow level water elf, it will gain partial authority over the ocean. The most important effect of these two orbs is the third effect, priesthood authority. This is an ability that the Feather of Poseidon and the Feather of Life do not possess. For this reason alone, these two pearls are more important than two feathers. There are many rock-type Pokémon in Luo Sha's team, and the only ground-type Pokémon is Diglett. The Scarlet Orb undoubtedly belongs to Diglett. The dragon-headed hamster happily carried the Scarlet Orb, and now he could compete for the position of the boss. At worst, we can bring down Bangila. The beautiful blue orb naturally belongs to Greninja, but Siddiq already possesses the priesthood of destiny, and is it appropriate for a duck that can't swim to obtain authority over the ocean? Greninja coolly took the beautiful blue orb, and the orb turned into blue light and merged into Greninja's body. Luo Sha sorted out the useful items and threw all the other useless orange and purple items into the corners. The white, green and blue items were all placed in a conspicuous position by Luo Sha. When the time comes, he will give Jinduado all of them and take them to the elf shop to sell. And the corners and crevices are where Luo Sha places his treasures. Whenever I have nothing to do, I save money in it to build up some assets for Gartemari, Kankuro. Chapter 106, Capturing the Spirits. Luo Sha exited the system space and handed the magical candy to Mutuo. Mutuo, eat these 3 candies and your strength will be able to reach a higher level. Mutuo didn't doubt it and swallowed the 3 magical candies in one gulp. The data on Mutuo's panel has been raised to LV91, 6 paths, and everything else remains unchanged. New achievement, 6 paths elf. The host owns the first 6 paths level elf. Congratulations to the host for receiving a 6% discount coupon. 1. What? A magical item. This is the power of rules. Luo Sha, did you get this from the god of creation? Mutuo was extremely surprised when he felt his strength reaching the 6 paths. Xiao Ai, are you there, Luo? Sha did not respond immediately, but called Xiao Ai in his heart because Luo Sha didn't know where this magical candy came from. Without getting a response from Xiao Ai, Luo Sha thought for a moment and said, it could be the god of creation, or it could be an artificial idiot. Artificial retardation. Mutuo was confused. What kind of strange word was this? Yes, its name is Xiao Ai. It's just a mechanized program. It hasn't been upgraded for a long time. Luo Sha suddenly missed the great god Xiao Ai a little. It has been almost 5 years, and there is still no news from the great god Chuanqi. After Mutuo's upgrade was completed, Rosa began to deploy blue habitats to the Water Kingdom. The Water Kingdom consists of a small continent and many islands. The new island habitat is located on an archipelago, and 20 green habitats are also deployed on the archipelago. Therefore, 4 blue habitats, Luo Sha, were placed on the continent of the Water Kingdom, namely the Fog North, Fog South, Fog West, and Fog East habitats. There are 4 habitats, each with a Pokémon of elite strength. LV63 Ice Ninetales, LV62 Needlefish, LV61 Mina, LV61 Vicious Turtle. Luo Sha drew the approximate distribution of Pokémon on the map, took a photo with the Pokémon encyclopedia, and sent it to Karula. The popularization of elves in the water country began to get on track, and Luo Sha breathed a sigh of relief with satisfaction on Karula's side. After receiving the information from Luo Sha, he began to arrange for ninjas to go out and capture Pokémons. The Karigakure ninja grew up in the village of Blood Mist, where indifference to life is the norm. In order to make the Karigakure ninja treat the elves kindly, systematic education and strict punishment are needed. The first batch of ninjas arranged by Karula to capture elves were all his trusted subordinates. Karula ordered them to treat the elves well, and they would certainly not dare to disobey. Karula personally led the team to the Wudong habitat, which was very close to the Hidden Mist village. In just 3 days, the group completed the mission to capture the monsters. Karula captured a Pokémon, a LV61 Vicious Turtle. Like Karula, Yukira also captured a LV48 Violent Turtle. As soon as Yukira saw the tortoise, he was attracted by its handsome appearance. Yukira's aesthetic taste seems to have a natural filter for turtles. Ai and Mizuno were arranged in the second batch. In fact, considering Ai's level of madness, she should be the last batch. However, Ai has an extreme admiration for Rasa. Luo Sha told them not to harm the elves, and Ai took this sentence as her golden rule. Ai Menma led 21 corpse vein ninjas and 5 ordinary Ai ninjas with outstanding looks and headed directly to the Wubri habitat. The beauty of Ice Ninetales is truly alluring. Mizunatsuki also chose to go to the Kirihoku habitat as Ai did. The Mizunatsuki clan is extremely enthusiastic about the Ice Ninetales, because Ice Release and the Ice Ninetales are perfect matches for Sister Lipstick. She is a backup option. Sister Michin is so beautiful. How can she compare with Ice Nine-tailed Fox? Ai and Mizunatsuki met in the Kirihoku habitat, and they started a fight. Whoever encountered the Ice Ninetales first would get the Ice Ninetales. Ai's 27 people formed 9 teams, and Mizuno's 30 people formed 10 teams, and began searching in the Wubri habitat area. Why? Is the lake frozen here? Ai and Sora crossed the jungle and came to an icy lake in the middle of the lake. 3 snow-white figures came into Satoru's sight. They are breaking the ice on the lake to catch fish. 2 Ice Ninetales and 1 Ice Vulpix. Sakura didn't hesitate and immediately pulled out the entire spine with her right hand, turning it into an iron whip, and all the arm bones in her left hand turned into a spiral spear, dance of the maidenhair flower. Sakura moved at an extremely fast speed, and instantly appeared in front of the Ice Ninetales, attacking it with the iron whip. Seichi and Seiji followed closely behind, performing the camellia dance, pulling out an entire arm bone from their shoulder, turning it into a bone sword, and attacking the Ice Nine-tailed Fox. The Ice Ninetales reacted in time and avoided the attack, but the Ice Vulpix was directly swept away by Sakura's iron whip. Woo! Satoru pinched the back of Ice Vulpix's neck, lifted it up, and admired Vulpix's appearance. It's really a beautiful creature. I like it even more. Ice Vulpix fought back hard, and took advantage of Sakura's unpreparedness to bite Sakura's arm. Ice Vulpix almost broke his teeth. All bones. Ice Vulpix covered its mouth with tears in its eyes. It hurt so much. Ha ha ha, ha 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 ha. Naughty Sora was extremely satisfied with this Ice Vulpix. Although the Ice Vulpix was not as strong as the 2 Ice Ninetales, he liked it more. All his life, he did things based on his own interests. The 2 Ice Ninetales were caught in their weakness and dared not act rashly. They watched helplessly as the Ice Vulpix was put into the Pokeball by Kaguya and Sora. Sakura is one of the strongest members of the Kaguya family and is not inferior to Kaguya. Menmu's team consists of 3 Corpse Vein Awakeners, 2 Elite Jonins and 1 Jonin. The 3 of them easily defeated the 2 Ice Ninetales, which were captured by Sakura's 2 teammates. 3 days later, Kaguya and Mizunatsuki gathered together again, and each tribe gained something. Kaguya had 15 ninjas who captured the Ice Ninetales clan, and Mizunatsuki had 21 ninjas who captured the Ice Ninetales clan. Chief Mizunatsuki discovered a gathering place of Ice Nine-tailed Fox and captured 12 Pokemon in one fell swoop, including the LV-63 Chief of Ice Nine-tailed Fox. There is no doubt that Mizunatsuki gained more. Kaguya accepted defeat and did not make any trouble. They are crazy, but they value commitment. No one knows that Kaguya and Satoru's Ice Vulpix is the most special. If Luo Sha was here, he would see that the Ice Vulpix has an individual value of 4V, reaching the threshold for learning Sage Mode. Kaguya Menma led 12 Kaguya people to the Wuxi habitat in a miserable manner. He was going to capture Sister Michin. Ordinary people may not be able to appreciate the beauty of Sister Michin, but Kaguya is not an ordinary person. Their aesthetics are flexible. Sister Lipstick's purple skin, light yellow hair, thick lips, round figure, fluffy long skirt. Kaguya Menma, she is so beautiful. When Menma conquered Miss Lip, he decided to list Miss Lip as the most beautiful spirit in the world. How can people like Melodic and Ice Ninetales compare to Sister Mimic? The rest of the Hyuga tribe members have the same mentality as Menma. If anyone dares to say that Sister Mimi is ugly in front of them, they will stab them with a bone knife. The remaining 12 members of Kaguya's tribe have subdued Sister Mimi, and Kaguya Menma has subdued the LV-61 leader of Sister Mimi. Gui Deng was assigned to the 3rd team. When chief of the Kazuna tribe saw Kaguya return, he couldn't wait to rush to the Wunan habitat. Only the strongest elf in the Wunan habitat, the Manafish, has not been caught yet. In the ocean, ordinary elite Jonin are no match for the Manjaro among the first two batches of ninjas who came to capture it. None of them were able to defeat the Manjaro. The leader of the Ghost Lantern tribe relied on the secret art of turning into water and went directly into the sea to solo with 1,000 needlefish. The one-home fish was stunned when he saw Chief Ghost Lantern blending into the sea water. What about people? Fishbones has no perception or tracking skills, and was beaten up by chieftain of the Kazuna tribe. It was put into the Pokeball with its whirlpool eyes spinning. The number of ninjas from the Kazuna clan who possessed the secret technique of transforming into water reached 70, and they all came to the Wunan Sea to capture the school of Meijiki fish. The elves gradually became popular among the Kirigakure ninjas and became an integral part of the Kirigakure village. Chapter 107 Three-Tailed Isabu. At the very edge of the hidden mist village, a courtyard sits alone. Kiriko brought Rasa and Muto to the yard, pushed open the door and walked in. Lord Rasa, the Three-Tails Jinchuriki is here. Kiriko introduced as they walked, and the three of them came to the yard. Mizukage-sama. The Three-Tails Jinchuriki was a middle-aged man who looked to be in his 50s. He was training in the yard. When he saw the Mizukage coming, he immediately bowed to him. Fukang, what's the situation with Sanwei? Replying to Mizukage-sama, everything is fine. The frequency of the Three-Tails riots has decreased. The seal can currently last for 3 months. The hidden mist attacked the hidden whirlpool village for the Uzumaki clan's sealing technique, but they didn't expect to get nothing in the end. The sealing technique of the hidden mist village is so poor that the tailed beasts would riot from time to time, and the chakra would break out of the seal loopholes. The sealing ninjas of the hidden mist village can only frequently reapply seals to the tailed beast Jinchuriki to fill the loopholes. With some patchwork, life in Kirigakure can still go on. Mizukage-sama, is this a ninja from the Uzumaki clan? Fu Kang had already discovered Luo Sha and thought that he was the sealing master found by Wuchuan, but he was a little younger with red hair. Luo Sha can really disguise himself as a member of the Uzumaki clan. Luo Sha felt a little emotional at this time. If he pulled out the three tails, Fu Kang would die. Fu Kang is a ninja trained by the hidden mist village and is very loyal to the village. There is no possibility of rebellion in Sunagakure. Fu Kang is not yet worthy of Muto's control. Luo Sha no longer hesitated and took action. Countless gold dust bullets shot out from the ground like a rainstorm. Fu Kang keenly sensed the approaching danger, and he dodged to the side, trying to avoid the attack. However, although he reacted quickly enough, a gold dust bullet still pierced his shoulder, and blood instantly stained his clothes red. An extremely sharp golden shuriken attacked Fu Kang from behind, heading straight for his heart. Fu Kang had no time to make any defensive moves. With a muffled puff sound, the gold sand shuriken pierced Fu Kang's chest, bringing out a string of bright red blood. Fu Kang looked at Kiriko in disbelief. He didn't expect that Lord Mizukage would betray the hidden mist village. Fu Kang's body suddenly fell forward, and his life continued to slip away. Isabu sensed the danger of death and tried his best to resist, but to no avail. The three tails chakra in Fu Kang's body erupted, and Luo Sha easily broke the seal and sucked out the three tails chakra. Isabu didn't resist. Although he could be resurrected after a few years, death was very painful. It is most afraid of pain. The reason it turned into a turtle was because it hoped to maximize its defense so that no one could defeat it. It won't feel pain. Rasa took out all of the three tails chakra, and Isafusa transformed it into its original form in his hand. Xiao Isabu is in his childhood form, so cute, human, let me go. The sound of Izo's caressing is as loud as a bell, forming a sharp contrast with her cute appearance. Isabushi, I don't think you want to go through what Shukaku went through. A blue light flashed in Luo Sha's eyes, pulling Isafu into the illusion. This is the ability that Luo Sha developed after obtaining superpowers. Superpowers combined with illusions can produce super plus version of illusions. Isabu was beaten up by Rasa in the illusion space and was broken into chakra blocks. The pain was so real that Jifu, who was most afraid of pain, cried and begged for mercy. Stop hitting me, stop hitting me, I was wrong. Jifu's glands was broken and separated from the shell, and couldn't be retracted. After being beaten 100 times, Isafu returned to the real world in a trance. Isabu paused for 3 seconds, and when he saw that he was still in Luo Sha's hand, he immediately retracted his glands into his shell, and his limbs as well, leaving only 3 short tails outside. Luo Sha pinched Isafu's little tail, lifted it up, and said with a warm smile, "It's useless to hide inside. My illusion is not activated by the eyes, but by the spirit. The turtle shell trembled and Jifu pretended to be dead. If you don't come out, I'll drag you into the illusion space and beat you up again. The turtle shell trembled again, and Jifu carefully stretched out the glands, but the limbs were still retracted in the shell, which looked funny no matter how you looked at it. Luo Sha held Isafu's tail, and Isafu was now upside down 180 degrees, showing a flattering smile that Kamisu had never seen before. My lord, what do you want? Do you want to become a tailed beast Jinchuriki? No problem, I can do it. I will be a good boy. I will give you as much chakra as you want. Little turtle, do you think I need your chakra? Luo Sha tied Isafu's two tails into a bow, held Isafu's third tail, and shook it left to right, playing with Isafu non-stop. A bit addictive. Although the feel is not as good as that of the raccoon cat, the turtle is obedient. The raccoon cat can talk trash, but the turtle can't. The turtle will just obediently let Luo Sha manipulate it. Besides, the raccoon cat only has one tail, so it doesn't even qualify to have a bow tied on it. Isafu was shaken until he was dizzy, but he didn't dare to resist at all. From now on you will follow me as my spirit. Rasa looked at Isafu. Since he couldn't get Shukoku, Isafu could be a substitute elf. Isafu was confused. He had no idea what this thing was. Yes, a creature similar to a summoning beast. From now on, you will be the mist-hidden divine beast Isabushi, representing the water system, and your trainer is Luo Sha. Understand? Luo Sha touched the turtle's head and began to explain. I understand. From now on, I will be the mist-hidden divine beast Isabu, and the spirit of Luo Sha. Isafu still has some brains, unlike Shukoku who is brainless and deserves a beating, and he quickly accepted what Rasa said. Very good, I'll plant something for you first to prevent you from escaping. Mutuo marked Isafut with a mental mark. Isafut felt a special energy entering his body and tried to drive it away, but to no avail. This energy stuck to its body like taffy. Don't worry, I'm just recording your coordinates. Don't even think about resisting. You don't want to know the consequences. Luo Sha had an unfathomable look on his face, which frightened Jifu. Yes, sir. Isafu nodded obediently, without any of the dignity of a tailed beast. The villain in Luo Sha was almost laughing like crazy. He didn't expect Isafu to be so funny. Isabu, just call me Luo Sha. Since you agree, we will be partners from now on. Luo Sha put Xiao on his shoulder. The little gray turtle was not good looking, but its ugly cuteness was still cute. Luo Sha, how do you know my name? Jifu asked in surprise. Regardless of his fear, I know more than you think. I am the one who will create a new era. The permanent peace of the ninja world will be created by me. Luo Sha smiled confidently, scaring Isabu again. Isafu is considered to be the most gentle among the nine-tailed beasts. As a turtle, Isafu often sleeps for a long time. Isabushi is not like the other tailed beasts, who would feel endless loneliness and eventually resent humans. Isafu was touched by Rasa's ideals and couldn't help but think of what the six-path sage once said. One day, the tailed beasts will be able to coexist peacefully with humans. Isabu felt that Luo Sha is the person it was waiting for. Luo Sha, I'm so touched. Woo, I finally waited for you. I imagined a lot of Isafu crying and dropping chakra beans. Isabu wiped his face with his hands, and his chakra dissipated into the air. It turns out that he is still a sentimental little turtle. Luo Sha thought to himself that Isafu and Karula would definitely get along well. Karula is gentle and emotional, but she is a little too love-minded. Isafu is very suitable to protect Karula. The four members of Luo Sha's team are inseparable most of the time, but Luo Sha occasionally acts alone, and he can't help but worry about Karula's safety. Isabu, I will introduce you to my friends when we get back. I believe you can get along well. One of them is my fiancée, Karula. Can I ask you to protect her in the future? Okay, then what about you, Luo Sha? I want to protect you too. Isuo hesitated for a moment, and a trace of embarrassment flashed across his face as he finished speaking. Isabu, I am already invincible in this world and I don't need anyone to protect me. You protect Garu. We will still be together every day. Garu is a member of my team. We are almost inseparable. Luo Sha pretended to be cool and felt inexplicably comfortable. Okay, then I'll go protect Luo Sha's fiancée. Isabu sat up and promised seriously. Luo Sha couldn't help it and took Isafu's rein in his hand and touched it again. If he had known there were such well-behaved tailed beasts, why would he still be thinking about the raccoon cat? As we all know, The bad temper of a civet cat is comparable to that of a fox. Get out of here, you damn cat. Shukaku, alpaca. Shukaku didn't know that even though he didn't do anything, his status in Rasa's heart plummeted after returning to the sand village. Rasa decided to revise the elf textbook again and write down the personalities of the tailed beasts. Isafu has no advantages in appearance, and Luo Sha is worried that Isafu's popularity will decline. The only way is to start from other aspects, to boost Isafu's popularity and discredit Shukaku at the same time. Chapter 108, Kagu Ai's Mist Hidden, Sand and Mist Alliance. After conquering Isabuki, Rasa did not leave Kirigakure, but instead proposed a diplomatic visit to Kirikawa in the name of Tsunagakure. Kirikawa attached great importance to this and came out to greet Luo Sha in person. Luo Sha swaggered into the hidden mist village and walked around the village, often accidentally encountering white-haired beauties on the way. These white-haired beauties set up a stage and sang, danced, and played the piano, showing off their professional abilities to the fullest. There was also a beauty dancing striptease there, and at the end she was wearing a thin red gauze dress, firmly occupying the center position. The Kirigakure ninja feels that the world has gone crazy, with surprising things happening one after another recently. First, the Mizukage stopped the Blood Mist village, then Kagu Ai reconciled with the Mizukage, and now the Mizukage personally met with the Sand Village envoy. I don't know what's wrong with Kagu Ai and her group of crazy people. They seduced an 11-year-old child on the streets of Kirigakure. These seductive women are not ordinary members of the Kagu Ai clan, but the 8 famous female ninjas of the corpse vein. The biggest hobby of these 8 people is to dig out their hearts with a bone knife. In the village of Blood Mist, they kill countless people even though they are all beautiful. No male ninja dares to provoke them. The Kirigakure ninjas were obviously scared to death, but they couldn't control their legs and ran to the streets to watch the charming figures of the 9 ninjas. A bunch of gay men had nosebleeds and couldn't stop it. They wanted to leave, but Kagu Ai's killer princesses were surprisingly gentle today. Even when they stared at them, they didn't stab them with their bone knives. How can I miss such a rare opportunity? So the men watched while their noses were bleeding. When the blood was too much, they wiped it with their hands and continued watching. One after another fainted on the street. Not only gay men, but many lesbians were also bleeding from their noses. Because a strange thing had sneaked onto the stage. A handsome Kagu Ai male ninja was mixed in the team of 9 people. If no one knew, no one would find out that he was a boy. The male ninja's name is Kagu Ai Sakehiro. Because of his outstanding dancing skills, he twisted his waist in the center position. The female ninjas and villagers all spread the word and knew that this person was actually a boy. They were so excited that they kept screaming, "Baby, mommy loves you. Husband, marry me. Ah, wife." In the end, the lesbian also fainted on the Kirigakure street on that day. Kirigakure Hospital was packed with people. Before this, Kirigakure had always been implementing the Blood Mist village, and there was no such thing as a hospital because the weak don't deserve to live in Kirigakure. The Kirigakure Hospital had been shut down for 20 years and had only been in operation for 2 days. It already had a shortage of staff, not to mention so many patients. Fortunately, these patients stopped having nosebleeds after fainting, and no casualties were caused. Of course, it's too early to say anything. Many gay men fainted again when they woke up the next day and heard that the beauty in the center position was a boy. 2 of them could not bear the blow and died of cardiac arrest. Ultimately, the incident resulted in 2 deaths and 1 injury. What may be more tragic is not the 2 people who suffered cardiac arrest, but the people whose Taoism hearts were broken. Even though they knew that Kagu Ai was a boy, they still deceived themselves and firmly believed that these were all rumors. These are all insults to the goddess by the haters. How could the goddess be wrong? It's all because of other people's envy, jealousy and hatred that they throw dirty water on the goddess. In the end, even though there was evidence that Kagu Ai and Salra were boys, they still tried to argue. Boys, what's wrong with the boys? That's my goddess too. Not to mention the mentality of this group of crazy male fans. The female fans on the other side are also crazy. Kagu Ai Sakura's female fans gathered together and started a large-scale march. Because the reputation of the Kagu Ai family is too bad, it cannot be reversed in just 2 days. Kagu Ai Sakura killed countless people in the Blood Mist village era. He awakened the corpse bone vein at the age of 9, was promoted to special Jonin at the age of 12, and to Jonin at the age of 15. Now at the age of 18, Kagu Ai and Salra have become elite Jonin. Kagu Ai Salra's nickname in Kirigakure is Kagu Ai Judian, and she is the craziest person in the Kagu Ai clan. He has a stunning appearance and a unique way of thinking. No one can understand his thoughts. Maybe they don't like the sight of a passing dog and will use a bone knife to perform bone removal surgery on the dog. In the past, no matter how crazy Shagu Ai and Satoru were, the villagers would not pay attention. Now, Shagu Ai Satoru is the biggest star of Karigakure, but she is stigmatized. Shagu Ai Satoru's female fans were immediately unhappy. How could you say that my brother is extremely crazy when he is obviously extremely handsome? A vigorous parade swept through the hidden mist village, and anyone who dared to scold Shagu Ai Satoru was subjected to cyberbullying. Relying on their large numbers, they successfully made many people apologize and cleared Shagu Ai Saki's name. Eventually, they joined up with Shagu Ai Sakura's male fans on the one hand. They firmly believe that this is their goddess. On the other hand, they firmly believe that this is their idol. The two sides started a confrontation. The male fans had stronger individual fighting power, but there were more female fans. In the end, you will either be lying in the hospital or working on a sewing machine in jail. Karula certainly knew what happened in the hidden mist village, but since it involved Rasa and Shagu Ai, Karula pretended nothing had happened. Anyway, in the end all the troublemakers were put in jail. Jenger watched this big show in Karigakure. The fat guy put his hand into his mouth, took out a pen and paper and started to write the script. The script is called Shagu Ai-sama, The Hidden Mist. Jenger became more and more excited as he wrote it. This is the first script he has saved up, and he believes that this movie will be a big hit. Jenger finished writing the script, put it carefully into his mouth, and patted his belly with satisfaction. Unfortunately, the technology does not allow it and Jenger cannot be filmed yet. Otherwise, Director Jenger would have been famous in the ninja world long ago. Luo Sha stayed in Karigakure for 2 days and signed the Sand and Karigakure Alliance Treaty with Karula, representing the formal alliance between Tsunagakure and Karigakure. The Karigakure is nominally an alliance, but in reality it is a vassalage. Karula is the only cage-level strongman in the hidden mist village. He has been in power for many years and has accumulated great power. No hidden mist ninja dares to jump out and resist him. What's more, most of the Karigakure ninjas can enjoy the benefits of the alliance and will support Karula. Instead, the entry into force of this treaty means that the Sand Village has officially begun to encroach on the water country. As time goes on, Karigakure will be completely unable to get rid of Sand Village. Master Yuan saw the trick and almost couldn't help but go to the Mizukage building to fight Karula. God has doomed our Karigakure. God has doomed our land of water. Yuanshi is the second in command of the civilian faction and is highly regarded by Karula. Although Karula behaved exactly the same as before, he still felt something was wrong. He knew Karula too well. It was strange enough to rashly abolish the Blood Mist village, and accepting the Shagu Ai clan was definitely not something Karula would do. Karula must have been controlled. When Master Yuan thought of this possibility, his fingers turned white. He must lie dormant and wait for the birth of the second cage-level strongman in Karigakure before he can overthrow Karula's rule. It's not the right time yet. No ninja of this generation can match Karula, so we can only rely on the next generation. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 109, Grinyu stays on New Island, returns. After Luo Sha had completely settled the affairs of Karigakure, he prepared to leave Karigakure and return to Kikayo Mountain. It was almost January and he had to return. Unexpectedly, Greninja suddenly ran out of the Pokeball. Awa. Greninja, do you want to stay in the New Island habitat to train? Awa. Greninja nodded. This was a decision it had thought about for a long time. There is a tribe of Greninja in the New Island habitat. It wants to defeat all the tribesmen and then challenge other strong ones to hone itself through actual combat. Following Luo Sha, it is protected so well. It is the youngest in Luo Sha's team, and it is not its turn to fight because the older brothers and sisters are leading the way. Luo Sha's team of Pokémons formed the Sandstorm team, which was a self-contained system, and Greninja couldn't get involved at all. Among the second team of Pokémon, Jenger is the bodyguard and Gardevoir is the butler. Tapumu and Frog are office workers who live in the Sand Village. Even Psyduck serves as a mascot. What's more, Psyduck has the label of the Rain class Pokémon on it. It is the only one that doesn't. Dino confused what role it plays in Luo Sha's team. Greninja was a little. Rasa is a ninjutsu type ninja, commonly known as a great wizard. However, With the S-level bloodline ninjutsu such as the giant god soldier, Rasa is a melee master greninja and Rasa cannot fight together. It can't help at all. It has grown up, and it is going to become strong. Greninja wants to become a ninja because that's what Rasa expects of it. What's the point of playing with water for ninja? Only high-end ninjutsu can be used. Unfortunately, it is still unable to learn Sage Mode and cannot absorb chakra to learn ninjutsu. It will become stronger through fighting and make rapid progress. Then you can turn on the Sage Mode and learn ninjutsu. It wants to be the coolest kid in Luo Sha's team. As for the strongest, they are definitely not as strong as big brother Mutuo and second brother Rayquaza. The coolest thing is that it is very promising just because it has a red scarf around its neck. Luo Sha looked at Greninja's determined eyes and sighed helplessly. After all, he had raised an elf from childhood, and this was the first time it was separated from him. Luo Sha felt a little complicated. Go ahead. I'll visit you often. Remember to come back early. Luo Sha took out a space scroll, which contained various potions. After putting the scroll into a small shoulder bag, Rasa handed the bag to Greninja. Awa. Greninja held back his tears, carried Rasa's small shoulder bag, turned around and jumped into the sea. The moment he turned around, the tears in Greninja's eyes were replaced by a determined look. Mutuo, can you find a Pokemon to secretly protect Greninja? No problem, I'll let Zishi Heron take care of it. The atmosphere was silent for a moment. Luo Sha looked at Greninja swimming away, feeling a little uncomfortable. After Greninja left, Rasa rode Rayquaza back to Mount Kikayo. Rayquaza spent several days touring the Water Kingdom, especially the new island Habitat. The entire new island Habitat is Mutuo's ruling area. Rayquaza also began to dream of having an area to rule. Rayquaza did not hide anything from Rosa and shared his thoughts with Rosa. Do you also want to have a ruling area? No problem. In the future, the entire sky will belong to you. When I have money, I will build you a sky pillar as a symbol of the god of the sky. Luo Sha starts to make promises. Do you have money? He is now extremely poor, and there is no sign of a second red habitat. Once all the first level gods are materialized, he will have money. Since we already have Rayquaza, naturally other first level gods will be given priority. The sky pillar can only be carried back. But that doesn't stop Luo Sha from making plans first. Ow. Rayquaza howled with joy, and began to imagine himself becoming the god of the sky, revered by everyone. After Rayquaza reached the cage level, its speed increased greatly. Flying at full speed, it only took an hour to fly from the hidden mist village to Mount Kikayo. Shagu is using the Pokemon Encyclopedia to communicate with Gaddix. As the head of the administrative department, Gaddix needs to report the affairs of the Sands village to Shagu every day. Master, I'm back. Let me introduce you, it's Mutuo, the strongest in the ninja world. Luo Sha jumped directly in from the window, and Mutuo chose to teleport in to keep his B slot. Hello, Mutuo, I'm Shagu. Shagu reached out his hand to Mutuo, and he sensed an extreme danger from Mutuo. The ninja's premonition was very sharp, and he felt he would be killed instantly. Shagu's heart was in turmoil, but his appearance was extremely calm. The ninja world is really going to change. Hello, Shagu. Mutuo was very polite and shook hands with Shagu and said hello. No matter how hard Shagu tries to calm down, the fear deep in his heart can still be sensed by Mutuo. The atmosphere was a little dull for a while. Mutuo, let me take you to meet my friends. Luo Sha pulled Mutuo away and made a face at Shagu. Laodang, can you do it? Shagu naturally understood what Luo Sha meant. His fist stiffened, and he resisted the urge to pull Luo Sha over to teach him a lesson. After making another note about Luo Sha in the little notebook in his heart, Shagu sat down and continued to deal with official documents. Xiao Ai, Karula and Yukira were currently training in the woods next to the Sand Village base. Luo Sha-kun, Karula was the first to notice that Luo Sha had returned. He ran over happily and held Luo Sha's left arm. Big brother, Zhuang. Yu happily ran over and gave Luo Sha a bear hug. Yi Kang looked left and right, ran to Luo Sha's right side, and held Luo Sha's right hand facing Mutuo's weird look. Luo Sha smiled awkwardly. Mutuo, they are my teammates. Mutuo, Garu and the other two got to know each other, and Xiao Ai's little mouth started to show off his power. He could chat with Mutuo for half a day. Isafu was lying on Luo Sha's shoulder and raised his head to glance at Xiao Ai. Xiao Ai has Chongming's chakra, which does not contain any negative emotions. Isafu felt the mood of Chongming lying down, as expected of Luo Sha's teammate. Seeing that Chongming was living such a good life, Jifu was even more certain that he had followed the right person, so he said, hello, I am Jifu. Hey, where does the sound come from? Yukang looked around curiously, but couldn't find the source of the sound. It's me, I am on Luo Sha's shoulder. Ishimaru sat up and raised his hand to signal. Wow, a talking turtle. With a bow tail, oh my god. So cute. Yukang picked up Ishimaru excitedly and looked at it carefully. Well, the tail was tied into a knot by Luo Sha. Luo Sha said it looks good this way. Ishimaru touched his head shyly. Although he couldn't appreciate Bao's Ishimaru's aesthetic is quite strange, as can be seen from its transformation into a gray turtle. Karula, Ishimaru is the partner I found for you. Ishimaru is the three tails. You don't need to become a Jinchuriki. Just let Ishimaru follow you around. Ah. Me? Thank you, Rasa-kun. When Karula heard what Luo Sha said, her face turned red with embarrassment and she started to imagine again. Is this the token of love that Rasa-kun gave her? As expected of Rasa-kun, he gave her a tailed beast as a token of love. Karula imagined a lot of strange things in her mind, and only came to her senses when Ishimaru climbed onto her shoulder. Hello, Karula, my name is Ishimaru, and I will protect you from now on. I'm very tough, just look at my shell. Ishimaru showed his tortoise shell to Karula. The gray shell was shining brightly. Yukang looked at Ishimaru with envy, and when he thought of the four tails, he suddenly became full of fighting spirit. She must conquer the four tails. Chapter 110, Kill in Seconds, Negotiate. March 31st, the 12th year of Sunagakure. With 5 days left until the new year, an event occurred that changed the course of the ninja world. Konoha and Sunagakure fought again at Mount Kikayo. Konoha spent a month in pre-war meetings and preparations, but unexpectedly, it had to raise the white flag and surrender just 2 minutes after the war started. A blue light flashed in Muto's eyes, and tens of thousands of Konoha the ninjas were unable to move. The blue light flashed in Muto's eyes again, and Sarutobi Hiruzen flew uncontrollably into Muto's hands. Sarutobi Hiruzen struggled hard, trying to break free from Muto's control, but to no avail. He couldn't even use the ghost seal. Under the shocked gaze of all the ninjas, Sarutobi Hiruzen died instantly. Instant kill. The ninjas felt as if their three views were shattered, and stared in dumbfounded amazement at Sarutobi Hiruzen's powerless body falling down. This is too scary. The war was not fought and the Hokage died. The Sand Village ninjas were all terrified, not to mention the Konoha ninjas. The Konoha army was demoralized and announced its surrender. Muto released his control over the Konoha ninja army, and the Konoha ninjas raised their hands one after another, no longer willing to fight. Tsunade was shaking. Her teacher was dead, but she was powerless. Danzo's reaction was also very strong. He wanted to become Hokage, but he didn't want Sarutobi Hiruzen to die. He hadn't yet heard Sarutobi Hiruzen's words. Danzo, you will regret this. He had been dreaming about this for more than 10 years, and when he became Hokage, he would make Sarutobi Hiruzen his Hokage advisor. He could sit in the Hokage's chair and watch Sarutobi Hiruzen slam the door and leave. It's impossible anymore. It seemed like something was broken, and it turned out to be his heart. His best friend is gone, and he has to move on. Danzo shed 2 crocodile tears, cheered himself up, and began to think about the future of Konoha. He didn't think about what it would cost if Konoha was defeated. He was thinking about how to become the 4th Hokage. 4th Hokage can only be his, no matter what the cost. Muto did not take action to kill the remaining cage-level warriors in Konoha. Konoha and Sunagakure just have different stances. The 3 ninjas of Konoha, Hatake Tsukumo and others are all positive characters. When the Elf Alliance is established in the future, these people may become Luo Sha subordinates. Rasa hopes to achieve peace in the ninja world with minimal casualties. As for Danzo Shimura, he will of course continue to play the role of troublemaker and cause trouble for Konoha. This is a rare talent. It's such a pity to kill him. As long as Danzo is around, Konoha will never be united. In the future, when Konoha is disbanded, Rasa may not even need to do anything. Danzo can do it alone. The war ended quickly and Konoha and Sunagakure began negotiations. Konoha and Sunagakure sat at the negotiation table. Danzo represented Konoha and argued with So. Danzo has only one request, that Sunagakure support him to become the 4th Hokage. He can give Sunagakure whatever they want. Danzo's actions have put the Sand Village in a state of chaos. The Sand Village did not hesitate and directly demanded half of the territory of the Fire Country. Impossible. This is absolutely impossible. We in the Fire Nation would rather die in battle than agree to this. The negotiator who came on behalf of the Fire Nation daimyo spoke harshly and objected desperately. Then he was hung on the wall. Danzo's face turned as black as the bottom of a pot, but he still agreed to Tsunagakure's outrageous request. As an eyewitness to the battlefield, Danzo knew that he had no choice but to agree. Tsunagakure can easily destroy Konoha and occupy the land of fire. The Sand Village was merciful by not killing them all. The Sand Country also has concerns. The Fire Country is too large, and this half of the territory is enough for the Sand Country to digest for many years. The Fire Nation is the largest nation, so it's inevitable that its people have higher aspirations. Just swallow up the Fire Nation. Konoha's resistance is still okay. Rasa can take Mutuo and destroy the village directly. However, rebellions will inevitably occur one after another among the people of the Fire Nation. Even if Tsunagakure builds the Land of Fire better, the people of the Land of Fire will not be grateful to Tsunagakure. Were they all killed, seizing half of the territory is the best decision. Just like the division of Germany in history, West Germany developed far more than East Germany, and the people of East Germany all ran to West Germany. The Fire Nation under the rule of Sand Village develops better than the Fire Nation under the rule of Konoha, so the people of the Fire Nation will spontaneously support the Sand Village. By then, it will be easy for Tsunagakure to gain the hearts of the people and then capture the other half of the land. There is no harm without comparison. Territory was only the first item of negotiation, and every subsequent request from Tsunagakure frightened Danzo. The appointment of Hokage requires the consent of Kazekage. All of Konoha's ninjutsu were copied by Tsunagakure, including forbidden techniques. After the death of the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, the Nine-Tails was handed over to the Sand Village for safekeeping. Each bloodline family and mystic family sent at least 5 young male ninjas to join the Sand Village. The spiritual scrolls of the 3 holy places or Ishimaru was placed under the supervision of the Sand Village. Danzo almost couldn't help but resist, but Mutuo was sitting next to Rasa, so he stopped himself. Danzo didn't dare to agree to Tsunagakure's conditions. Otherwise, he would have been hacked to death by the ninjas of Konoha before he became Hokage. Danzo argued, but Shagu refused to give in. Danzo resigned himself to his fate and said helplessly, "I need to go back and discuss this with the others." "Okay, I'll only give you 1 day. I don't want the negotiations to delay." The Sand Ninjas returned to the village for the new year. Finally, Danzo got up and left, returning to the Konoha camp. The lights in Konoha's central camp remained on all night, and the sound of fierce quarrels could be heard. It is difficult for the people of Konoha to accept the terms of Tsunagakure. Whether it is land, forbidden techniques, or the Nine-Tails, it is impossible. They were pushed to the edge of a cliff. In the end, Danzo, Orochimaru, and Akimichi Tofu agreed to the terms proposed by Tsunagakure. They were rational enough to know that this was the best outcome for Konoha. At least Konoha is still there. Tsunade, Jiraiya and Hatake Tsukumo strongly opposed it. They could not accept Konoha being dismembered and the Land of Fire being dismembered. The 6 cage-level warriors of Konoha were tied 3-3 as one of the protagonists of the treaty. Orochimaru wants to go deeper into the Sand Village to learn more about the elves. Luo Sha invited him sincerely. Orochimaru still has ideas about the position of the 4th Hokage, but compared to the dream, the position of Hokage is nothing. The patriarchs of the major Konoha families were calm and all agreed to send their family ninjas to the Sand Village. They only need to sacrifice some of the family's ninjas, and maybe they can use this to establish a relationship with the Sand Village. It's a blessing, not a curse. They were able to become clan leaders because each of them is a 1,000-year-old fox, and each of them has 800 schemes in mind. Konoha is powerful, so they are naturally loyal supporters of Konoha and are willing to fight for Konoha. But Konoha's decline can no longer be stopped. Each of these conditions of Tsunagakure is very fatal when taken individually. Konoha's future will inevitably be half dead and it will never be able to recover. The other 3 ninja villages cannot be relied upon. Now even if the 4 ninja villages are combined, they cannot defeat the Sand Village. The broken ship of Konoha is probably about to sink, so they need to make plans early and leave a way out for the family. The Sand Village is the best place to go. Except for the Sarutobi family, the heads of all the major families agreed to Tsunagakure's request. The next morning, Danzo came to the Tsunagakure camp again and signed the Treaty of Tsunagakure Kiki-Oyama. It took only 2 days from Konoha's defeat to the signing of the treaty. The Sand Village ninjas packed their bags urgently and returned to the Sand Village before the new year. The news of the battle at Mount Kikayo spread throughout the ninja world, scaring the other 3 major ninja villages into silence, not to mention the smaller ninja villages. That's Konoha, the Konoha that even the 3 major ninja villages combined can't defeat. Konoha was wiped out by the Sand Village alone, and the Hokage was killed in seconds. If it hadn't really happened, no one would dare to believe it. On the battlefield of Taki country, Iwagakure and Kumagakure had no intention of fighting anymore and retreated back to the village. Shigaraki finally heaved a sigh of relief and led the Tokigakure ninja to restore the post-war order after 2 years and 4 months. The Second Ninja World War was completely over after the war. The villages began to actively engage in diplomacy. Unoki was the first to come out and started boasting. I knew that Rasa was a smart kid since he was young. I had long seen that Rasa would definitely become the second god of the ninja world. Senju Hashirama was still playing in the mud at the age of 11. He can't be compared with Rasa at all. The ninjas of the Iwagakure village all felt ashamed when Inoki mentioned this. Inoki knew very well that the elves and Luo Sha were inseparable. Mutuo is a Pokemon and is with Rosa, so just focus on Rosa. As for Shagu, Inoki didn't say a word. With Inoki's flattery, Rasa became the second god of the ninja world. But the recognition is not high. As soon as Inoki spoke, Kirakal followed closely. Kirakal first praised Rasa a lot, acknowledging his status as the god of the ninja world, and then announced the Sand and Karigakure and Kirito village will follow the footsteps of Sunagakure in development. Luo Ai suddenly felt that he was being targeted. Why did Iwagakure and Karigakure form an alliance with Sandagakure? Konoha had just been defeated, and now only Kumagakure was left without making a statement. Irabi tried his best to persuade Luo Ai to show goodwill to Sunagakure and sign the Sunagakure Alliance Treaty. Luo Ai is simple-minded, but not stupid. Luo Ai took the initiative to start the talks, hoping that Kumagakure and Sand Village would form an alliance on an equal footing. When Shagu heard the words equal status, he hung up the video conference without thinking and ignored Luo Ai. Old Ai looked at the black TV screen in confusion, and angrily punched the table to pieces. How dare he look down on me? Back then, old Ai got stuck in the middle of his words. How could it be like the past? The two of them were not familiar with each other at all now. It is the Cloud Village that needs help from the Sand Village. Luo Ai started the TV talk show again, but Shagu hung up without hesitation. Shagu decided to leave Unine alone for the time being, thinking that someone who couldn't see the situation clearly was not worthy of talking to him. He is now the father of the god of Ninja World. Shagu thought proudly that he never expected that he would end up like this. Old Ai has come to him for help. Chapter 111 New Year. The time came to January 32nd of the first year of Sand Village, and the Sand Village celebrated the new year with great enthusiasm. Mutuo moved into Luo Sha's house, and his room was next to Luo Sha's. Rasa's house is very lively. There are 8 people in total, including Sako and Nami, Rasa and Sasori, Nagato, Yohiko, Konan, and Kaku. Mutuo is the 9th resident of the home. When Nagato found out that Mutuo was a psychic-type legendary beast, he excitedly shouted, "I must capture a Mutuo someday." Before all the mythical beasts materialize, Luo Sha will not buy a second mythical beast of the same kind. It is unknown when the second Mutuo will appear, but Rasa did not discourage Nagato, but encouraged him. After all, no one can predict what will happen in the future. Maybe he will be really lucky one day and win Mutuo in the lottery. Xiao Ai, did you hear that? Nagato wants Mutuo. Luo Sha hinted wildly. Xiao Ai pretended to be dead. This is a child's dream. Whether it can come true depends entirely on you. Can't you show some appreciation? Luo Sha made it clear and began to force the emperor to abdicate. Xiao Ai continued to play dead. Xiao Ai, stingy host, you could have bought it yourself. During the New Year holidays, Luo Sha's house was crowded with visiting guests, and the gifts filled 2 entire rooms. On the 3rd day of the New Year, Xiao also brought her grandson to visit. After throwing Scorpion into Luo Sha's arms, she turned around and left with King Slowpoke. Scorpion was wearing a red dress and a big bow headband in his hair. Like a New Year's gift. Scorpion and Luo Sha stared at each other, and Scorpion looked at Luo Sha with a look of despair. Scorpion is the only one in the family who can understand Xiao's way of thinking. He could guess his grandmother's strange thoughts. His stupid father was completely unaware and didn't even notice that grandma had given him medicine so many times his mother's belly had been still, and she had no time to have a baby as she was fighting in the war. Now that the war is over, Xiao is very anxious and has started the small trumpet project again. The 3 days that Scorpion was back hindered Xiao's plan. Scorpion slept between Xiao and Leon, making it impossible for Xiao to start. So, on the 3rd day of the first lunar month, Xiao personally packed the Scorpion and delivered it to Luo Sha's house. Scorpion looked aggrieved. What did he do wrong? With Luo Sha's dedicated feeding, the Scorpion grew fat and white, and will be 4 years old after the New Year. The Scorpion was raised by Luo Sha himself, And Luo Sha has a great preference for scorpions. If I had to describe it, it would be 1 part Nagato, 1 part scorpion, 1 part Conan, 1 part scorpion, 1 part Chihiko, 1 part scorpion. Luo Sha hugged Scorpion, looked at Scorpion's pitiful little eyes, and touched Scorpion's red hair with tenderness. Scorpion, if all else fails, you can just call me Daddy. The expression on Scorpion's face could not be maintained and his eyes turned dead. Oh, just kidding. Actually, except for the age, brother should be suitable in other aspects. Call me Daddy. If I give birth to a red-haired boy in the future, I'll let you raise him and you'll be his godfather. Luo Sha's true intentions were revealed and he started talking nonsense. Scorpion tried to break free from Luo Sha's arms, but the 4-year-old Scorpion had no ability to resist. Scorpion once again showed a look of despair. Why are Grandma and Brother Luo Sha's train of thoughts so strange? It's okay if you can't do it. If you miss your parents, I'll take you to find them. But if you ever change your mind, remember to tell me. How can Xiao Ai be better than me? I am the richest man in Sunagakure. When you become a puppeteer in the future, Daddy will reimburse all your expenses. And elves, which one do you want? I can also find you a divine beast. Luo Sha began to analyze the pros and cons and attempted to become a father. Brother Luo Sha, my Scorpio wants to evolve. Scorpion felt that he couldn't let Luo Sha continue talking, so he quickly opened his mouth to change the subject, otherwise he would really be moved. Take it. Consider it your New Year's gift from your brother. Luo Sha rummaged through the system backpack and found a top-notch sharp tooth in a corner. He took it out and gave it to Scorpion. Is there any form that your Eevee would like to evolve into? Umbreon. I put the stone of change on Eevee during the day and take it off at night, and then I wait for it to evolve. Scorpion tried to untie the bow headband on his head, but was stopped by Luo Sha. Grandma Xiao tied a hairband for you. It means good luck. You can de-untie it. Luo Sha was talking nonsense. Scorpion looked so cute with a headband, how could he take it off? The Scorpion rolled his eyes, knowing that he was powerless to resist, so he sat still obediently. Put this bell on Eevee at night, and Eevee will definitely evolve. Luo Sha found the soothing bell from a corner of the system backpack and hung it around Scorpion's neck. Scorpio is more like a gift. Scorpion. Luo Sha-kun, I'm here. Not long after Xiao left, Karula and Gadix arrived. Kadashi and Shagu start chatting and Karula comes to find Rasa. The tail of Ishimaru on Karula's shoulder was tied still with a bow, and she was wearing a little red hat on her head. Ishimatsu is used to it, and now it is not happy to untie the bow. During the days that Ishimaru has been in the sand village, he has played with Karula's elves, gone to the oasis to swim, and sunbathed in the garden of Karula's house. His life has been very comfortable. It completely fell in love with the sand village. Scorpio, Happy New Year. When Karula saw Scorpion, he took out a big red envelope and handed it to Scorpion. The Scorpion shook and felt very heavy. Rich woman. Being a puppeteer is a money-burning profession, and Scorpion didn't hesitate to put the money in his pocket. The pocket was a little small and couldn't hold the red envelope, so Scorpion put the red envelope into Luo Sha's pocket. Brother Luo Sha, please keep it for me. When I grow up, give it to me. No problem. It is natural for parents to keep their children's New Year's money. Luo Sha put the money scrolled into the space without any psychological burden and kept it for Z. Not long after, Xiao Ai and Yukira also came to Luo Sha's house. Little Chongming lay quietly on Zhongmi's head, motionless. It was also pulled out to celebrate the new year, wearing the same little red hat as I saw Fishy. Luo Sha stood up holding the Scorpion, and the 5 followed of them went to the backyard. The spirits of the people also gathered here. Buscadora Bangila obediently and received an appreciative look from Bangila. Afterwards, Bangla took Buscadora to visit the new boss. Mutuo 34 elves gathered together to pay their respects, and the scene was quite spectacular. With such a powerful boss, what are you waiting for? Other elves want to worship but don't have the chance yet. Only Siddiq didn't know why everyone was gathering together. Siddiq simply thought it was fun, so he ran over and squeezed into the middle, standing at Mutuo's feet. Mutuo was quite happy. It liked to have younger brothers, which was the same as Rosa. The 6 shadow-level Pokémon in the new island habitat are its subordinates, and now it has 6 more subordinates. Although their strength is a little weaker, they all have good potential, and Mutuo did not refuse. This is the bond. Chapter 112. Nami and Melodic. During the New Year holidays, Shagu and Nami were receiving guests in the front hall, while Luo Sha was having fun in the backyard. Nagato, Yohiko, Konan, and Kaju went out to visit friends and relatives and would go to the orphanage every day. At that time, Luo Sha brought back 17 babies from the Uzumaki village. The oldest of these babies is now 6 years old and the youngest is only 3 years old. They were placed in the Uzumaki class of the orphanage to be raised together. The orphanage is called Sunagakure Love Home and Luo Sha has always been paying attention to these children. After all, they were brought back by Luo Sha, and they were 17 red-haired kids. How could Luo Sha not pay attention to them? Nagato and Xiangjiu took this very seriously and donated all their pocket money and New Year's money to the orphanage. Konan also followed them in donating. Yohiko eats and drinks lavishly every day and can't save any money at all, but Yohiko is always the most active when he goes to the orphanage to take care of the children during the New Year. The 4 little ones naturally have to go and pay New Year's greetings to these children of course. Not only the Uzumaki class, the 4 brought gifts to all the children in the home of love. The Uzumaki clan is descended from Kaguya Otsutsuki and has a special physique. Rasa plans to establish the Uzumaki clan in the Sand Village. Nagato happens to be the first-generation leader of the Uzumaki clan. Almost all Uzumaki ninjas are geniuses in sealing techniques. With them, there will be no shortage of masters of sealing techniques in every generation of Sand Village. As the sun sets, Shagu and Nami are busy in the front hall all day and finally send off all the people who came to pay New Year's greetings. Masters. Wife, Isabu can help me and Xiao learn Sage Mode. Now that I finally have some free time, do you want to give it a try? Luo Sha brought Isabu to the front hall and asked Nami. Really? Then try it now. Nami, who is exhausted, immediately perked up and jumped up from the sofa. Melodic's potential has been exhausted, and level 70 is its limit. If you want to break through to the shadow level, you can only train day after day. After more than 10 years of persistence, you may have the opportunity to break through the limit and break through the bottleneck. Sage Mode is an opportunity to break through the bottleneck. After knowing about Sage Mode, Melodic was more excited than Nami. It grew from a Chouchou fish to a mimic in the wild, and the hardships it went through are unimaginable for ordinary people. It is never afraid of hardship. Rosa's Takawa power and Isabu's chakra were transmitted to Mimiki together, and Mimiki closed his eyes and began to absorb the process of Melodic becoming a sage. Was a smooth transition in the early stages, but when Melodic's momentum was rising and was about to break through the shadow level threshold, an accident occurred. Melodic roared in pain, and the degree of petrification increased rapidly, with most of its body already petrified. Nami's heart ached when she saw the pain on Melodica's face. Isabu, stop. Luo Sha opened his mouth to ask Isabu to stop, but was stopped by Melodic. Woo. Keep going. Luo Sha was silent. He was only halfway through the Sage Mode process and most of his body had turned to stone. There was no doubt that he had failed. Continue and Melodic will turn into a stone sculpture. The petrification level is too high, even the power of Evergreen cannot save it. Luo Sha turned his gaze towards Nami. Nami was in a state of confusion. Seeing the determined look in Minchio's eyes, she said, go on. I believe Minchio can do it. As time passed, the degree of petrification of Minchio became higher and higher. Only the head remained petrified. Melodic's will is very strong, and the petrification speed begins to slow down when it reaches its head. But it's still too late. Nami was already crying now. Minchio, do you still remember our first meeting? At that time, you were the overlord of the river and sea habitat, and you said, if I want to gain your recognition, I must defeat you fairly, but I can't beat you. I was lucky to get your approval. You let me win. Later, we served together as popes in the River God Church, helping believers who came to the church to pray. We punished evil and promoted good together, and drove away the nobles who oppressed the common people. When the River Kingdom fell into war, we built porch sheds together and distributed food to the refugees. You also told me that you cared most about the ugly fish in the river and sea habitats, and you were their only support. You said you never believed in fate. You evolved from an ugly fish to a Melodic. You went through so much hardship to get to where you are today. God was unfair to you, but you never blamed God. You only blamed yourself for being weak. You are so kind and strong. You were bullied when you were weak, but you are still willing to protect the weak after you become strong. Because you have experienced those hardships, you don't want more people to experience the same hardships as you. You said that we are partners who rely on each other and we will reach the top together in the future. How can you fall down here, Nami? squatted in front of Melodic and shouted at the top of her lungs, trying to give Melodic some strength. Shagu stood silently by at this time. He found that his care for the elves was never enough. He was busy with official duties every day. Steelix led the troops to train alone. Charizard was in the territory and would not look for him unless there was something to do. Flame Chicken accompanied him every day, but he rarely cared about Flame Chicken. He is not a qualified trainer. Luo Sha didn't say anything either. Nami and Mincheo had only been together for 2 months, and Luo Sha didn't expect that their feelings would be so deep. The petrification has covered Melodic's eyes and even its tentacles failed. The scene was silent for a moment, and a fierce aura emanated from Mincheo. Nami raised her head and looked at Melodic with hope. Keminus has turned into a stone sculpture, motionless. It's the aura of a cage. Melodic broke through to cage level, but its petrification could not be removed. It succeeded, and it also failed, when Mutuo's voice sounded. Nami's heart sank and she covered her face and broke down crying. Is there any other way? Luo Sha stopped outputting the power of Changpan and spoke hesitantly. The power of life? Luo Sha, you have the breath of life? Feather of life? Luo Sha immediately thought of this red item, the feather of life, which can resurrect the dead. Rasa is already invincible in the ninja world, and the resurrection effect of this item is useless to him. What's more, props are dead, but elves are alive, so they should be used when necessary. You can get it later anyway. Luo Sha did not hesitate any longer and called Rayquaza over, taking out the feather of life from Rayquaza's body. Rosa placed the feather on the stone sculpture of Melodic. A golden red flame flashed on the stone sculpture. Nami stopped crying and stared at the stone sculpture motionlessly. The petrification on Melodic's body began to decrease at a speed visible to the naked eye, revealing the smooth skin and scales underneath. As time went on, the area of petrification became smaller and smaller, until it finally disappeared completely. When the last trace of petrification faded, a dazzling golden red light suddenly lit up, illuminating the entire room. The phantom of the Phoenix King appeared, and the feather of life gradually disappeared. The light dissipated. Melodic opened its eyes, floated in front of Nami, and wrapped its tail around Nami's hand. Woo, that's great, Minas. Nami hugged Melodic back, feeling the softness of Melodic's body. Thank you, Luo Sha. Nami came right in front of Luo Sha and bowed 90 degrees. Melodic followed behind Nami and also bent down and bowed. Master's wife, this is what I should do. If there is a way to save Mincheo, I will definitely not be stingy. Blazoo. Don't try Sage Mode yet. Wait until your strength is raised to that of an elite Jonin. That will be safer. Luo Sha immediately helped Nami up. After all, Nami was his elder and there was no need for him to care about these things. Nami didn't refuse, but she didn't dare to let Blastoise try Sage Mode now. Strength is important, but life is more precious. Chapter 113 Commendation Conference. March 32nd, the first year of Tsunaga Cure. This morning, all the ninjas in the Sand Village flocked to Shukaku Square. Shukaku Square, located to the west of Sand Village, is the largest square in Sand Village, large enough to accommodate 30,000 ninjas. Many ninjas, with excitement and anticipation on their faces, came to Shukaku Square early with excited steps to wait. There's only one reason why they came so eagerly. Today is the commendation meeting. In the center of the square, there stands a huge platform covered with a red carpet. The thing that Sand Village has the most is gold. The entire square's floor is plated with gold, and the platform is also made entirely of gold. There were many spectator seats surrounding the place, with ninjas sitting or standing, whispering and talking to each other. At exactly 9 o'clock in the morning, Shagu, wearing the Kazekage costume, led 12 Tsunagakure high-ranking officials to the stage on time. Xiao was not among them. As the commander-in-chief of the war, she had made great contributions and was one of the protagonists of this commendation meeting. As Shagu came on stage, the whole audience suddenly became quiet and everyone's eyes were focused on the stage. Shagu first gave a speech, full of the will of sand. Some young people blushed and were extremely excited after listening to this. Shagu learned all his MLM skills from the book written by Luo Sha. Although he only learned 50% of Luo Sha's essence, it was enough to brainwash the young people. After Shagu finished speaking, Gaddix came on stage as the host. Caltex cleared his throat and said loudly, "Dear ninjas, we are gathered here today to hold the commendation ceremony because we defeated Konoha and the former overlord of the ninja world. Now, our Sand Village is the #1 ninja village. In the future, we will always be the #1 ninja village. Celebrate." Cheer, the wind will always protect us, the will of the sand will last forever. As soon as Caltex finished speaking, the square was filled with prolonged applause and cheers. When the applause died down, Caltex began to commend. The first ninja, Rasa Luo Sha, 12 years old, magnetic ninja, Jonin. The founder of the Rise of Sand Village, the creator of the Pokémon era, known as the Lord of Sandstorm and the God of Ninja World. He led the elves to kill Might Ai, a powerful cage-level warrior in Konoha, instantly killed the third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, and killed tens of thousands of Konoha ninjas, and made great military achievements. Today, Tsunagakure officially grants Rasa the position of the Fourth Kazekage, and he will take over the throne when he turns 16, Caltex's words caused a huge uproar. The square was quiet at first, and then erupted into thunderous cheers. Luo Sha's status in Tsunagakure is no less than that of Shagu, or even higher than that of Shagu. After Luo Sha became a cage-level warrior, Shagu began to build momentum for Luo Sha. Shagu secretly revealed Luo Sha's contribution and even polished it in the later stage, almost deifying Luo Sha. It was an open secret in Tsunagakure that the Pokémon was brought by Rasa. The Sand Village ninjas privately call Rasa the father of Pokémon. At this moment, everyone present looked at Luo Sha with anticipation. Luo Sha felt the admiring gazes of the Tsunagakure ninjas and felt under great pressure. He didn't know it in advance. Luo Sha looked at Shagu, and Shagu showed a smug look. Lao Dang, do you want to retire so much? Luo Sha didn't have time to think at this moment. He stood up and went on stage with an empty mind. Shagu personally conferred the title on Luo Sha, took off the Fengying hat from his own head and put it on Luo Sha's head. After putting on the hat, Shagu took Luo Sha's hand and lifted it above his head. Without Rasa, there would be no Sand Village today. Rasa is the god of Sand Village. I believe that under the leadership of Rasa, Sand Village will surely become the supreme power in the ninja world. Shagu did not forget to create momentum and gave Luo Sha the title of God of Sand Village in public. Luo Sha twitched his lips and looked up at the sky in silence. Luo Sha was wearing a bamboo hat, so no one could see his helpless expression at the moment. There were waves of cheers from the audience, and they never stopped. Some ninjas brought small Pokémon, and the Pokémon cheered along. Rosa possesses the power of Evergreen, and with this special arrangement of a certain alpaca, all Pokémon naturally have a very high liking for Rosa. When Luo Sha stepped down, there was no light in his eyes. Shagu must be thinking of retiring early. Shagu used this method to force him to succeed to the throne at the age of 16. The second ninja to be awarded the medal was Chiyo. Tsunagakure gave Chiyo a lot of titles and great achievements because these rewards were what Chiyo liked most. The third is the distribution of blessings, and only the top management knows the specific information about the distribution of blessings. This time, Shagu publicly announced Bunfuku's identity, including the status of the perfect Jinchuriki. Bunfuku is known as the one-tailed holy monk and is one of the shadow level sequence of Sand Village. Then, one by one, the ninjas came on stage, including Karula, Xiao Ai, and Yukira. All three of them were promoted to Jonin. Xiao Ai was named Magnetic Release User. Karula was named Saint Hand of Sand, and Yukira was named Scorching Release User. Jonin is the highest title, and Elite Jonin is also a Jonin title, but Elite Jonin will have an exclusive title, such as the copy Ninja Hatake Kakashi is for the cage level. Each one of them is a famous figure who is able to make his title famous in the ninja world. For example, Xiao Ai, as long as the magnetic release user is mentioned, everyone will know that this is a cage level strongman. The entire commendation ceremony lasted for several hours, and at the end, ninjas came on stage in batches. After the ninja commendation was completed, Luo Sha took the stage to commend the Pokémon. A palace was built in the north part of Sand Village. That is the Elf Hall. Every elf in Sand Village that reaches the level of cage can leave a mark in the hall and obtain his own title. Every shadow level Pokémon has a huge poster in the hall, with a photo of the trainer and the Pokémon on it. There is a nameplate placed in front of the poster, which will indicate the elf's title and information. Steel Snake, the messenger of wisdom. King Dai, Snorlax, the king of gluttony. Phantom Fire Lamp, Crystal Lamp Spirit, River Hair Shermanethal, god of the sky. Rayquaza, the god of superpower. Mewtwo. The Elven Hall now has 7 posters. Rayquaza and Mewtwo are named after gods, which is enough to establish their top status. Luo Sha showed the 7 posters to everyone and introduced the basic information of the 7 elves. The commendation meeting ended successfully amid laughter and joy. Such a big commotion in Tsunagakure, the relevant news quickly spread throughout the ninja world. This time, Sunagakure did not hide its shortcomings and revealed a lot of previously hidden information. You are invincible. Why are you still hiding your weaknesses? 5 cage level ninjas, 6 cage level elves, and 1 6 paths level being. Because of Sunagakure, a new round of public opinion tsunami has begun in the ninja world. Even the Chunin and Jinan of Sand Village did not have complete access to this information. They only knew that there were 7 or 8 cage in Sand Village. Unexpectedly, there were as many as 12. Even the Sand Village ninjas are like this, and the ninjas from other ninja villages know even less about Sand Village. Rasa once again became the focus of discussion, as did Rayquaza and Mewtwo. All 3 are called gods, so it would be strange if they did not cause discussion. Many people overlooked one thing: Sand Village has another trick up its sleeve because Sunagakure still has external aid. Chapter 114, Konoha Ninja Iru Sand, Mega Flame Chicken. Konoha Village, the land of the Uchiha clan. Chief, our Uchiha clan lost 1,500 ninjas in the battle. They were the elites of the clan. How dare Konoha treat us like this? Many Uchiha ninjas gathered in the family meeting room, and one of them spoke angrily, accusing Konoha of injustice. Konoha paid compensation to the families of the dead ninjas, which led to Konoha's financial difficulties, and no compensation was paid to the Uchiha ninjas. Uchiha fought hard for Konoha, but got this result. The compensation issue is handled by Danzo Shimura. Sarutobi Hiruzen died, Konoha was unstable, and Hatake Tsukumo and Shimura Danzo were competing for the position of the 4th Hokage. Orochimaru is about to be taken prisoner in the Sand Village. Tsunade is depressed and has no intention of taking the top position. Jiraiya is preparing to go out to look for the child of destiny mentioned by the Toad Sage. Today, Danzo Shimura and Tsukumo Hatake jointly manage Konoha, and the two are in a competitive relationship. Danzo Shimura hates the Uchiha clan very much, but he knows the strength of the Uchiha clan very well. Hard days are coming for the Uchiha clan, as anti-Konoha sentiment is on the rise within the clan and the number of radical ninjas is increasing day by day. These radical ninjas attempted to launch a rebellion, either by killing Konoha's higher-ranking officials or by leaving Konoha village and establishing their own faction. The Uchiha clan leader remained silent. He was now extremely confused. The decline of Konoha is inevitable. After the signing of the Treaty of Tsunejika-Kaiowama, Konoha will become weaker and weaker. If Konoha didn't still have cage-level strongmen supporting it, all the major ninja clans would have been ready to flee. Sunagakure needs a bloodline ninja from Konoha. Maybe this is Uchiha's chance. There are 1,400 ninjas left in the clan. Send 100 ninjas to the Sand Village. Fugaku, you go too. The words of clan leader Uchiha Tenshin cast silence in the meeting room. Fugaku was shocked and looked at Uchiha Tenshin in disbelief. He is the young patriarch of the Uchiha clan. We can't put all our eggs in one basket. Since Konoha doesn't have a place for Uchiha like me, let's look for other ninja villages. When you go to Sunagakure, don't cause any trouble. You must behave well, show your goodwill to the Sunagakure high-level officials, and find out Sunagakure's attitude towards Uchiha. If possible, we should cling to Sunagakure. As long as Sunagakure stands on the side of Uchiha, Konoha won't dare to do anything to us. Uchiha Tenshin whispered to Uchiha Fugaku that he had the intention to betray the village. Konoha disappointed him so much. If Konoha is still strong, he will choose to continue to show goodwill and move closer to Konoha. But Konoha's glorious era has passed, yet they still dare to treat Uchiha like this. There is no need for Uchiha to stay in Konoha anymore. But the Uchiha base is in Konoha, so he can only do it secretly. Sending 100 ninjas to the Sand Village is not a small number. How could the other Uchiha clan members understand Tenshin's intention? Uchiha Tenshin's decision was undoubtedly met with fierce opposition. However, as the head of the clan, Uchiha Tenshin, relying on the prestige accumulated over the years, firmly suppressed the voices of opposition. The Uchiha finally sent 100 young ninjas to the Sand Village, including the young patriarch Uchiha Fugaku. The patriarchs of other families also wanted to send more ninjas to the Sand Village, but they didn't dare to. They still live in Konoha. What if they are bullied in the future? The Uchiha are not afraid, because the Uchiha have no treatment at all in Konoha. When Danzo Shimura received the Uchiha list, he was so angry that his face turned blue. Humph. As expected, it is the evil Uchiha who sent out so many ninjas, all of whom are bloodline ninjas with Sharingan. What does this mean? Are they expressing their dissatisfaction with Konoha? Konoha has treated them well. How dare they treat Konoha like this? Teacher Tobirama is right. The Uchiha are indeed a clan born to be evil. March 32nd, the first year of Sunagakure Sand Village. Kazekage building. Shagu happily drank the new tea, Longjing tea, a specialty of the fire country, but now it is a specialty of the wind country. Flammel also loves to drink Longjing tea. He usually wears ninja clothes and meditates beside Shaku. He drinks tea during breaks, showing the demeanor of a master. Blaziken has been seeking to break through to the shadow level, but unfortunately it does not have enough potential and has not yet reached the shadow level threshold. It began to calm down and cultivate its character every day. Flame Chicken looked at Shagu working like a dog at his desk, and suddenly felt that his life was open. Blaziken doesn't feel any pressure at all. He meditates while at work and goes to the training ground to practice fighting after work. As the spirit of the wind shadow, Flame Chicken is also a well-known #1 chicken in the Sand Village. Although Shagu rarely took it to fight, he provided it with a good training environment. Moreover, Shagu has been paying more and more attention to it lately for some reason. The Mega Evolution Stone on Flame Chicken's chest lit up for a moment. Although it was only for a moment, Shagu and Flamingo would not miss it. Mega Evolution. Shagu immediately stood up and touched the key stone hanging on his chest with his hand. Flame Chicken, Mega Evolution. Just a white light flashed on Flame Chicken's body, and Mega Flame Chicken appeared in front of Shagu. Just. Flammel looked down at his hands, extremely excited. The energy in its body briefly rises to the shadow level after Mega Evolution. It is as good as the fire-breathing camel, and is considered half shadow level. Ha ha ha, that's great. Flame Chicken, you can Mega Evolve too. Humph, none of the 5Kage right now can match me. Shagu started to get carried away and imagined himself beating up Luo Ai. Lord Kazekage, the people from Konoha have arrived. An Anbu appeared and came in front of Shagu. Oh? Are they here? Let Gades go to greet them. Shagu waved his hand to welcome these ninjas from Konoha. There was no need for him to take action. Lord Kazekage, there are too many Uchiha ninjas here. This is Konoha's list. When Shagu heard the word Uchiha, he immediately became interested, took the list and started to check it. The first name is Ishimaru, which was chosen by Rasa. Behind them are the ninjas from various bloodline families and mystic families, including the Uchiha clan, the Hyuga clan, the Kurama clan, the Yamanaka clan, the Nara clan, the Akimichi clan, the Aburane clan, the Inuzuka clan, the Sarutobi clan, and the Shimura clan. Except for the Uchiha, only 5 ninjas came from each clan. The Hyuga clan sent 5 branch ninjas, and a caged bird was engraved on their heads. The Uchiha clan is at the end of the list, with exactly 50 men and 50 women. Eliminate the ninjas from the Sarutobi clan and the Shimura clan. What bloodline do they have? Or what secret techniques do they have? If they join Tsunagakure, Tsunagakure will think it's a loss of face. Shagu snorted in disdain. He had a distorted impression of Sarutobi and Shimura. He used to admire Sarutobi Hiruzen very much and recognized Sarutobi Hiruzen's title of ninja hero. However, every time Rasa talked about Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo, he looked disgusted. Shagu was deeply influenced and gradually changed his view of Sarutobi Hiruzen. From a politician's perspective, some of Sarutobi Hiruzen's actions were correct, and Shagu also understood that. But Shagu loved his people like his own children, and he despised those who would do anything to achieve political ends. Chapter 115, Resettlement of Konoha Ninjas, Ebizo accepts apprentices. The Konoha group was waiting at the gate of Sand Village. They were shocked when they saw the changes in the outskirts of Sand Village. In my impression, the Sand Village is poor and dilapidated, and the buildings are very ugly in order to prevent wind and sand erosion. However, the Sand Village in front of us is even more majestic than the Konoha village. There is a moat outside the village. The water is clear and transparent, and various water elves live in it. They walked along the way and even entered a small forest. It's not an oasis, it's a forest. Something illogical happened right before my eyes. The origin of this small forest is quite special. The crackdown on pornography hit a large area and many practitioners lost their livelihood. Feeling guilty, Nami persuaded Shaku to build a small forest outside the Sand Village, and Shaku happily agreed. Nami summoned all the trainers who had 3 diglets and started planting trees with a Lottie Kappas from the greening class. Tapumu was the first to open up the land and turn the desert into soil. Then, the 3 moles cooperated with Lottie Kappa to plant small saplings with great efficiency. Nami also transplanted many large trees from the River Kingdom through the Hulan Canal. Under Nami's orders, the river god cult began to transport trees to Tsunagakure. We sent boatloads after boatloads, and before we knew it, We had sent too much. Nami decided to go all out and directly build a small forest. Ashu and Guanjun felt that the opportunity to curry favor had come, so they led the Tagakashi village to participate. Eventually, the grove expanded again and again, and when it was completed, it had become a small forest. The Hulan Canal was packed with cargo ships during that period. Many merchants saw the prosperity of the Hulan Canal and thought it was a great business opportunity, so they began to transport goods through the Hulan Canal. Once one merchant joined, naturally there would be a second one, and so more and more merchants did business in the Kingdom of Wind through the Hulan Canal. It's equivalent to the herd effect by accident. The Hulan Canal became a famous trade canal. For this, the Sand Village awarded Nami, Guanjun, and Ashu's level merits. Ashu and Guan were inexplicably credited with merit, and they both thought it was the result of Nami's support and pillow talk. Nami herself was also. What did the prosperity of the Hulan Canal have to do with her? The small forest was also very prosperous after it was built. There are not many people in the small forest during the day, but it is very lively at night. Especially the dozens of small tree houses in the middle of the forest, which need to be booked in advance every night. There is now a large oasis to the north of the Sand Village, home to many elves. To the east is a small oasis that is home to Tropical Dragon. To the west are 5 major scenic spots, the most famous tourist destinations in the ninja world. To the south is a small forest, where no elves live yet. The Sand Village faces north and south. If ninjas want to go through the main gate of the Sand Village, they will inevitably pass through a small forest. Now looking at the stunned looks of the Konoha ninjas, the Sand Village ninjas felt extremely proud. Isn't it just building a small forest in the desert? There are creatures in our village that eat shit upside down. The Konoha ninjas didn't have to wait long at the village gate before Gaddis arrived and led them into the Sand Village. Along the way, looking at the rows of luxury houses in the Sand Village, the shock on the faces of the Konoha ninjas never disappeared. Gaddis arranged the ninjas of various races together on one street, and according to their importance, the Hyuga ninjas and the Uchiha ninjas were in a separate category. Next are the ninjas from the Ino Shikacho, Aburame, Inuzuka, and Kurama clans. The 5 Hyuga ninjas were all like caged birds and had no value of their own. Tsunagakure was the first to arrange special services for them, and the most important thing was to get the seeds in order to motivate the Hyuga ninjas. The Sand Village humanely arranged indicators for them, which were divided into several levels. The highest level is 100 children. When 100 children are born, Tsunagakure can release them from the cage. The Hyuga ninjas were skeptical at first. In their opinion, there was no solution to the bird in a cage. They didn't believe it until Mutuo took action and erased a mark on Hinata Aiki's head. Hinata Aiki's mark has been erased, but he still has to give birth to 100 children. If Hinata Aiki doesn't give birth to 100 children, he won't be able to go out. Hinata Aiki accepted it with pleasure and was even grateful to Tsunagakure. The other 4 Hyuga ninjas were even more active. They couldn't wait until night and started working as soon as they put down their luggage. It can be predicted that there will be at least 500 Hyuga ninjas in the next generation of Tsunagakure. After Gaddis arranged the Hyuga clan, he went on to arrange the ninjas from the mystical families. Not every ninja can practice secret techniques. The ninjas from these mystical families are specially trained from a young age so that they can master the mystical arts to perfection. Only when the secret technique is cultivated from a young age can it exert a powerful effect. After obtaining the secret techniques of the 6 clans, Sand Village will select a number of children from the ninja school and have each of them learn a secret technique. These secret ninjas who came from Konoha are the teachers who guide the children in their training from then on. The Sand Village would select some of the children who enrolled in school every year to practice secret techniques. The most important Uchiha clan is not under the charge of Gaddis, but of Ebizo. The Uchiha clan received special treatment and were arranged to live in another street. As soon as the Uchiha clan moved in, Ebizo came to their door. Tsunagakure needs to find out the Uchiha's intentions. Is it a spy or a show of goodwill? To Ebizo's surprise, the leader of the Uchiha clan was a young man, Uchiha Fugaku. Fugaku is 16 years old this year. He has already opened the 3 Magatama, and his strength is between that of a Jonin and an elite Jonin. Fugaku did not show any fear in front of Ebizo, and expressed to Ebizo in a neither humble nor arrogant manner that the Uchiha clan was willing to join Tsunagakure. It was rare for Ebizo to see someone who was not afraid of him, and he had a good impression of Fugaku. After several attempts, Ebizo figured out Uchiha's purpose and realized that he was really here to join the Sand Village. 100 of the most talented ninjas of the younger generation. Even the young clan leader came. Ebizo looked at Fugaku with satisfaction. He had good manners, knew when to advance and retreat, and possessed excellent ninja talent. If Uchiha enters Tsunagakure, he will definitely be able to occupy a place in Tsunagakure. welcomes talented ninjas to join. Uchiha possesses the Sharingan, and he meets the requirements of Tsunagakure, Fugaku. Boy, you are quite good. Would you like to be my disciple? The more Ebizo watched, the more satisfied he became, and he simply offered to take him in as a disciple, thus providing the Uchiha clan with timely assistance. Fugaku was a little hesitant for a moment. He had specifically inquired before coming here, and found out that Ebizo, as the famous living devil of the Sand Village, had a bad reputation. It is said that he has abnormal hobbies. Ebizo was incredulous when he saw Fugaku hesitate. Do you know who I am? I am one of the cage-level masters of the Sand Village, Ebizo proudly pointed at the crystal lamp spirit behind him. The weakest shadow is still a shadow. He is just a gigolo. So what? Others want to eat it but can't. Huh? That's right, I'm protecting you, little Zhang. The crystal lamp spirit coordinated to control the 5 will-o'-the-wisp fires, causing them to gradually expand. Each will-o'-the-wisp fire became larger and larger, flashing with strange light. Xiao is my biological sister. I am also the head of the interrogation department, one of the top leaders of the Sand Village. I am not afraid to brag, but among the top leaders, except for the head of the spirit department, no one else is as good as me. Ebizo looked very proud, because he had a strong backing. Also, Luo Sha, you know what? That kid has to call me uncle when he sees me. You don't know, my grandnephew is Luo Sha's. Ebizo whispered into Fugaku's ear and told him a shocking secret. Fugaku's face was devastated. He no longer hesitated and immediately knelt down and kowtowed. Master, please accept your disciple's greetings. Fugaku was in a trance, and Ebizo was probably the biggest golden thigh he could hold. Isn't it just a perverted hobby? For Uchiha, he fought hard. Hey, my good disciple, get up quickly. You will be my Ebizo's eldest disciple from now on. Although I have never accepted a disciple before, I taught all 3 of Xiao's disciples myself, so I am still quite experienced. Ebizo helped Fugaku up, looking relieved. Please give good reviews. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 116 Uchiha Fugaku, or Ishimaru. When Ebizo left Fugaku's residence and went back to report to Saku, he praised Fugaku highly. Ebizo, who always knew how to criticize others, tried so hard for the first time to praise others. He kept saying good things about Uchiha, which made Shagu speechless. Ebizo has been with a ghost for too long. Could he be possessed by the ghost? In short, it was Ebizo's responsibility to accept the Uchiha clan, and Tsunagakure. Sagu handed the matter over to Ebizo, who then took over the task from the Uchiha clan. Before leaving, Ebizo used his merits to exchange for a Daruma baboon egg for Fugaku. Daruma baboon is a blue quality elf, but the merit value required for redemption is much higher than that of blue quality and only slightly lower than that of purple quality for most ninjas. It is better to save up merits to exchange for purple quality elf eggs than to exchange for Daruma baboon. Daruma baboon was not well received and no ninja came to exchange for him. Considering that Uchiha was good at fire escape and illusion, Ebizo specifically chose from the fire and psychic types. Ebizo fell in love with the Daruma baboon at first sight. Ebizo had good intentions. When Fugaku got the Daruma baboon Pokemon egg in the Pokemon encyclopedia, he almost couldn't hold back his tears. Fugaku didn't expect that his new teacher would care so much about him. Well, learn more about the elves. If you want to make a name for yourself in the Sand Village, you can't do without the elves. When you come to the Sand Village, you must start as a Jinan. You are my disciple, so don't lose my face. Haha, it's rare to find someone who isn't afraid of me. In Tsunagakure, as long as you tell me my name, I guarantee no one will dare to mess with you. Ebizo put the Tsunagakure Jinan's forward protector on Fugaku's head with his own hands. Fugaku couldn't hold back his tears. Fugaku was raised as the young patriarch since childhood, with a strict father and a gentle mother. His mother passed away when he was 7 years old. He was heartbroken and angrily opened to Magatama, becoming the #1 genius of Uchiha and completely securing the position of young clan leader. After he became the first genius in the family, his father became more and more strict, but he no longer had the comfort and care of his mother. He didn't complain, He persisted. He understood since he was a child that he was carrying the future of Uchiha and he had to become stronger. He came to the Sand Village with a heavy mission, which was related to the future of the entire clan, and he was under tremendous pressure. But he was lucky enough to meet Mr. Ebizo. The concern that Ebizo showed him was exactly what he had always longed for but could not get in the past. Fugaku knelt down and kowtowed 3 times while crying, "Master, I have no way to repay your kindness. I will definitely take care of you until the end of your life." Ebizo was confused. Why was he crying? He was such a calm child. It seems that we still need to pay more attention to mental health issues. Ebizo didn't know that every member of the Uchiha clan had some psychological problems. The more Magatama you have, the bigger the problem when it comes to madness. Uchiha is on par with Kaguya next door. In terms of appearance, Uchiha is handsome and Kaguya is beautiful. In terms of the ending, they were all exterminated by their own village. The 2 races share the same blood, and their fate is so wonderful. With Ebizo as a guarantor, Tsunagakure accepted these 100 Uchiha ninjas and gave each of them a Jonin for a protector. In the future they will be able to go on missions, earn money, and make contributions, just like the Sand Village ninjas. The treatment of the Uchiha clans made the ninjas from other families cry with envy. The Hyuga ninja was working hard on the land while drinking a tonic soup made from Chinese medicinal herbs including Cotinopsis palazzoa, Eucamia ulmads, Rehmannia glutinosa, Morinda officinalis, Lycium barbarum, and Chinese yam. Maintain a rate of 4, 5, 6, 7 births every day, and strive to have 100 children as soon as possible. As for those who want to be with the Hyuga ninja, they all sign up voluntarily. Almost all those who signed up were widows and prostitutes. For them, this is an opportunity to reach the sky in one step. They are just ordinary people. If they give birth to a child with bloodline, they can become famous and successful because of their child. Ninja is the noblest profession in the ninja world. The Hyuga are one of the top ninja clans in the entire ninja world, and their bloodline limits are equally powerful. What's more, after the child is born, all expenses for the child will be covered by the village. They only need to give birth to a child, and they will have no worries about food and clothing for the rest of their lives, and even live a life of luxury. From the bottom of society to the top of society, the price is having a child. How could a widow or a prostitute miss such a good opportunity? The 5 Hyuga ninjas lost a lot of weight in just 1 week. They were extremely excited in the first 2 days, began to feel weak on the 3rd day, and began to feel fear on the 4th day. Commonly known as empty. Looking at the Uchiha next door, the Hyuga ninja shed tears of envy. The ninjas of the occult family are in training, and they need to take up the position of occult teacher. They also envied the Uchiha because they had not yet been recognized by the Tsunagakure and did not have a ninja for a protector. Before leaving, their clan leader asked them to behave themselves, live well in the Sand Village, and find opportunities to contact the Sand Village's top leaders. In the end, Uchiha got there first. The Uchiha clan turned the tables. They were bullied in Konoha but were treated well in Tsunagakure. All 100 Uchiha ninjas were completely loyal to Tsunagakure. On the other side, when Rasa heard the news of the arrival of the Konoha ninja, he immediately got up and ran to find Orochimaru. The only person that Rasa cares about is Orochimaru. To Rasa, Konoha combined is not as important as Orochimaru. Luo Sha has finished products of various elf props in his hands, and with Orochimaru's scientific research capabilities, he will definitely be able to crack these technologies. By then, you won't have to go to Xiao Ai to purchase goods anymore. With one less middleman, Luo Sha's profits skyrocketed. Moreover, as the business grew bigger, it became more and more troublesome to purchase goods from Xiao Ai, especially the elf shop in the Land of Water. The Mist Ninja has to go back and forth every 3 days, which really tires the errand boy out. The snake ant he had been thinking about for a long time finally came to the Sand Village. Rasa picked up Orochimaru alone and took him directly to the experimental base prepared in advance. Orochimaru did not resist and let Rasa pull him along, watching the scenery of the Sand Village with interest. Luo Sha-kun, I didn't expect the Sand Village to be so beautiful. It's really suitable for living. I don't want to leave. Orochimaru made his signature expression and licked the corner of his mouth with his tongue. Is it habitable? Then you should stay in the Sand Village from now on. Don't even think about running away. I can find you wherever you go. How could I run away? I can't bear to leave before I find the truth. Orochimaru laughed sinisterly, his tone quite excited. Truth, the truth of science. I believe that whether it is immortality or resurrecting the dead, or even elves, it can be explained by science. In fact, Luo Sha-kun, I am very curious about you. Orochimaru had a fanatical look on his face, staring straight at Rasa. Then I wish you success in finding the truth. You can study these contents, but you must complete the task I gave you first. Rasa felt a chill on his back and stuffed a piece of paper into Orochimaru's hand. It says Pokeball, Poke Cube, Injury Potion, Full Recovery Potion, Vitality Cube, Skill Disc, Keystone, Mega Evolution Stone, Medical Device, Training Device, Evolution Stone. The densely written words filled up a page, and Luo Sha arranged the props in order according to their importance. See? Study it in the order above. I know that Konoha's Pokeball was developed by you, so please hand over the Pokeball technology to me first. Luo Sha didn't hesitate and just reached out for it. Luo Sha-kun, is this how you treat me? You were clearly eager to get me before. Now that I'm here, you're exploiting me like this. Orochimaru made an ambiguous sound, accusing Rasa. Chapter 117. Orochimaru enters the sand. Orochimaru, I know you too well, perhaps even better than you know yourself. I believe in your scientific research ability. These tools are already finished. You don't need to invent them, but crack them. Tsunagakure can help you with all kinds of manpower and experimental materials. I can also allocate additional research funds to you. I have always been generous to talented people. But if you dare to play tricks on me, you don't want to know the consequences. Luo Sha said seriously, giving Orochimaru a shot of prevention. Oh? I'm curious about the consequences. Orochimaru raised his eyebrows, looking interested, and... Snake, have you ever heard of sex reassignment surgery? There is no doctor who can do this surgery yet. You have such a strong regenerative ability, why don't you be a specimen and let the doctors at the Sands Village Hospital practice their skills? If you accidentally cut yourself to death, you can just spit out the snake skin and regenerate. This is a piece of cake for you, Mr. Rasa, you are so interesting. Orochimaru's smile froze and he retracted his tongue. He was no longer curious at all. Really? Thank you for the compliment. This is just one of the punishments. There are others that you would also like to know. For example, using a video ball to record your trembling scenes and then broadcast them in Konoha. Let you become a star in a movie? Find a few muscular men to play with you? Turn you into a girl and give birth to a bunch of little snakes. Oh, you like snakes? Why don't you let the snakes play with you? You will definitely like this. By the way, can you make baby snakes by playing with snakes? Medusa, Orochimaru's face turned green with anger, and he really wanted to tear Rasa's mouth apart. Muto, who was floating on the side, was silent. Humans are really scary. Fortunately, it has no gender and cannot give birth to children, and... Snake, I really admire you, but don't try to be petty with me. If you dare to do anything bad behind my back, I will really punish you, and Long D Cave can't protect you. Luo Sha looked very serious when speaking, and those who didn't know would think he was lecturing the younger generation. I don't care what you research, and I won't pursue your past research. But if you come to the Sands Village and I find out that you killed elves... Rasa twisted his mouth and stared at Orochimaru with terrifying eyes. It was the first time that Orochimaru was threatened, and he didn't dare to refute. He found that Luo Sha seemed to be more perverted than him. Rasa successfully made Orochimaru so angry that he didn't want to talk. There was no conversation along the way until the two arrived at the experimental base. The base is located underground in Dongsha Oasis. Only ninjas from the flying unit come here, so it is a sparsely populated place, so Orochimaru will not be disturbed while doing his research here. Rasa was not worried that Orochimaru would run away, because with Muto there, Muto would be able to notice immediately if Orochimaru escaped. Unless it's the reverse summoning technique, Muto really can't react to this thing. But since Shagu has Shinga, it's useless for Orochimaru to run to Raichi Cave. Rasa, Orochimaru is already in my trap, Uncle. Snake, how is it? It's not worse than when you were in Konoha, right? Hurry and show me the drawing of the Pokeball. Orochimaru didn't make any requests and directly handed the production drawings of the Pokeball to Rasa. Luo Sha knew nothing about scientific research and couldn't understand anything even after looking at the drawings. Looking at all the data and parameters above, he was overwhelmed. Luo Sha raised his head and looked at Xiao Ai for advice. The most important raw material is the blue phosphorus fruit. This crop does not exist in the ninja world. I synthesized it myself. The other raw materials, white autumn grass, black yellow iron, hollow core flower, all exist in the ninja world. Orochimaru didn't put on airs and started explaining straight away. The Synthesis ratio is as follows. Luo Sha has already started to listen to the heavenly book, but Mutuo is listening very seriously with a blueprint in his hand. After Orochimaru finished explaining, he looked at Rasa's confused expression with a smug look on his face. Luo Sha, I understand. Mutuo's voice was heard, causing another critical hit to Rosa. Orochimaru looked at Mutuo in surprise. He didn't expect that Mutuo was not only powerful, but also had such an incredible learning ability. You are worthy of being called God. I admire you. Orochimaru is very interested in Mutuo, but doesn't dare to show it. Mutuo's title in the ninja world is the God of Superpower, which is temporarily more valuable than Rasa's God of the Ninja world. Rasa was not recognized, and the bragging of Inoki and Karakal could only deceive the ninja school students in Jinan, but Mutuo's title of God is recognized by the entire ninja world. Orochimaru, the Pokeball you created is blue, it uses the blue phosphorus fruit. Luo Sha suddenly recalled the tree fruit seeds sold in the system wall. Tree fruit seeds, white. 1,000 seeds per bag, priced at 100 elf coins bag. Luo Sha has always used the tree fruits as raw materials for the Hu juice shop and has never considered any other uses. He thought that these fruits were the food of the elves, and some of them had special functions, such as healing and detoxification. I didn't expect that it could be used for scientific research. Look at this seed. Luo Sha bought a bag of red phosphorus fruit seeds from the system mall and handed it to Orochimaru. Orochimaru took it, various experimental equipment removed from the space scroll, and began to operate them. Various data were displayed on the screen, but Luo Sha couldn't understand any of it. Mutuo, I'm fascinated by it again. This is the raw material. I originally created the blue phosphorus fruit to replace this fruit. I have searched all over the ninja world for this fruit but couldn't find it. I didn't expect you to have it here, Luo Sha-kun. Orochimaru stared at Rasa with extreme excitement. Why do you look at me like that? Rasa was frightened by Orochimaru's stare, and his hair stood on end. Luo Sha-kun, you must have other seeds. For the purpose of the experiment, you need to give me a copy of all the seeds. That's it. It scared me to death. Luo Sha patted his chest, bought a bag of all the fruits of the trees, pretended to take out the space scroll, and handed the seeds to Orochimaru. Orochimaru got the fruit and ignored Rasa, and started analyzing it at the laboratory table. Luo Sha was ignored like this. Uncle Snake, I'm leaving now. I'm going to set aside a piece of land to plant red phosphorus fruit and other plants. The mass production of Pokeballs will depend on you then. Rosa is happy that Orochimaru is obsessed with research. Once all kinds of elf props are thoroughly studied, he will be the biggest beneficiary. Luo Sha left the research base and headed straight for the Fengying building. This time, Sand Village obtained not only Konoha's ninjas, but also Konoha's ninjutsu, including the multiple shadow clone technique, flying thunder god technique, Shikigami Fuijin, impure world reincarnation, 8 gates ninjutsu, spirit transformation technique, etc. The difficulty of learning these ninjutsu is extremely demanding. The techniques that Luo Sha has the greatest hope of learning are the multiple shadow clone technique and impure world reincarnation. The flying thunder god technique is too difficult. The Shikigami sealing requires life in exchange for life. The 8 gates ninjutsu requires day-to-day physical training, and the spiritualization technique is a bit useless. Rasa came to the Kazekage building and copied all the ninjutsu he brought from Konoha. Take it out and study it when you have free time. Who knows, maybe one day you will get inspiration and learn Flying Thunder God. Chapter 118, Hokage Competition, Preparations before the Alliance Formation. March 32nd, the second year of Tsunaga Cure. The competition for the position of Hokage was extremely fierce. Hatake Tsukumo was more popular among the people and received more support than Shimura Danzo, gradually gaining the upper hand. In order to become Hokage, Danzo began to guide public opinion and throw dirty water on Hatake Tsukumo. In addition, Danzo sent a letter of commitment to Tsunagakure after the signing of the Treaty of Tsunajika-Kyoama. The succession of the Hokage requires the consent of the Kazekage. The situation is now unfavorable to Danzo, so he comes to Tsunagakure to seek support. The ninja clan leaders of Konoha all had their own ulterior motives and were secretly trying to curry favor with the Sand Village, which Danzo could not hide at all. Danzo decided to take a different approach and focus on Sand Village. If he can get the support of Tsunagakure, those family ninjas will definitely support him to take the position, and he still has a chance to turn the tables. Sand Village, Kazekage building. Master, what is the current situation in Konoha? The sound arrived before Luo Sha arrived. He loves eating melons the most. The power struggle in Konoha entered a white-hot stage. Tsunade was disappointed with Konoha and left Konoha. Jiraiya also left Konoha and traveled around. Orochimaru joined the Sand Village, and the Konoha Sannin no longer existed. After the departure of the three ninjas, Konoha was left with only 3 cage-level warriors, Shimura Danzo, Hatake Tsukumo, and Akemichi Torifu. Shimura Danzo barely concealed his hostility towards Hatake Tsukumo, and if Hatake Tsukumo hadn't restrained himself, they would have already fought. Shagu gave a general account of the situation in Konoha. Tisk. It turns out that keeping Danzo is a good thing. Luo Sha sat down and poured himself a cup of long Jing tea. I prefer Hatake Tsukumo. Hatake Tsukumo is powerful and upright. He is the first choice for Hokage. Unfortunately, it is more in the interest of Tsunagakure for Shimura Danzo to take the top position. Shagu sighed. Not long ago, the Sand Village had to act according to Konoha's mood. It's so unpredictable. Then support Danzo, he will manage Konoha for us. Rasa made the final decision and said that the position of Hokage was Danzo's lifelong obsession. Master, I came to you today mainly for the establishment of the Elf Alliance. This is the preparation that needs to be made before the establishment of the alliance. Luo Sha took out a plan from the space scroll and handed it to Shagu. First, build a large arena. As Pokemon gradually spreads to all major towns, we can build large arenas in the 8 major towns of the Wind Country specifically for Pokemon battles. The Grand Arena can open a gambling platform to stimulate the enthusiasm of the public to participate. All profits from the gambling platform will be used to develop the local elf industry. Only by allowing towns to independently invest in the development of the elf industry can sustainable development be achieved. Second, the Pokemon Center. Expand the Pokemon Store into a Pokemon Center that integrates functions such as selling goods, Pokemon medical care, Pokemon battles, Pokemon training, travel accommodation, and restaurants. But this will require the Pokemon Center to be equipped with security personnel, medical staff, sales staff, referees, etc. We need to train a large number of people. Luo Sha took out the medical book he won in the last lottery and gave it to Shagu. I will make arrangements. The village will train as many people as possible and have them serve in major towns as soon as possible. But it may be more difficult to recruit medical staff. Shagu took the book and agreed to Luo Sha's second plan. Third, we need to distinguish between ninjas and ordinary people. There are more and more people who have spirits among the people, and it is not appropriate to call them trainers. When a ninja possesses a Pokemon, he is called a trainer. When an ordinary person possesses a Pokemon, he can be called a trainer. Trainers will become mainstream in the future. The limitations of ninjas are too great, and there are only more than 200,000 ninjas in the entire ninja world. Moreover, ninjas live in concentrated ninja villages, which is like living in a different world from ordinary people. The fact that ordinary people can become trainers means that the number of trainers will reach a terrifying level in the future. Tens of millions, or even hundreds of millions. There are hundreds of millions of trainers, but only over 200,000 ninjas. If the ninjas are not separated out, trainers can easily die if they accidentally provoke a ninja. A cage-level ninja may not be able to defeat a cage-level trainer in a head-on battle, but he can assassinate trainers. What ninjas are best at is assassination. The trainer is an ordinary person. Even if he has 6 cage-level Pokemon, he may be assassinated by a cage-level ninja. The only Pokemon that can defend against ninja assassinations are Ghost and Psychic types. Ghost types can slip into shadows or become invisible, always protecting their trainers. The Psychic type has the ability to sense danger and can lead the trainer to avoid assassination in an instant. In the world of ninja, Ghost type and Psychic type have an unparalleled status. As the number of trainers increases, ninjas will not be eliminated, but will become more important. Ninja is an irreplaceable profession. Fourth, digest the new territory. The territory we acquired from the Fire Nation needs to be managed by people and popularized by elves. Well, I have sent a letter to the daimyo of the Wind Country. The local officials will cooperate with us to popularize elves. Tsunagakure received half of the territory of the Land of Fire and divided it into 8 provinces. Luo Sha called it the Land of 8 Provinces. These 8 provinces are of great value, with a huge market and affluent people. These 8 provinces are enough for Sandy to digest for several years. After Muto appeared, Rasa has become invincible in the ninja world. However, Luo Sha did not immediately conquer all the ninja villages and countries. If you take too big a step, You may easily pull your balls. The public's acceptance of Pokemon cannot be achieved by force. Now Sunagakure's main focus is on the newly occupied 8 provinces and the surrounding small countries. As Sand Village expands outward step by step, it must keep up with the subsequent management, clean up thieves and robbers, teach elves common sense, etc. After these 4 plans are completed, the Spirit Alliance can be initially established. But if it is to be truly established, the most critical person is Orochimaru has to thoroughly research basic resources such as Pokeballs and Pokecubes and achieve mass production, so that the Pokemon Alliance can have a foothold. With the current market size, Luo Sha can still rely on Xiao Ai to purchase goods, but what about the future? How can he survive if he always relies on him for purchases? Only if Orochimaru completes these scientific research results can the Spirit League exist for a long time. Luo Sha, just follow the plan. I will always support you, Shagu. Put down the plan. He had nothing to add. Luo Sha knew more about elves than he did. In order to establish the Elf Alliance, Sunagakure developed rapidly in the following days, and Leon was very busy as the director of the medical department. Shagu handed her a stack of Pokemon medical books. She studied hard every day, and after learning everything, she taught it to the medical ninjas below. According to the current situation, she needs to train at least 50 elf doctors, as the name suggests. An elf doctor is a doctor who specializes in treating elves. Elves have medical equipment that can heal most injuries and illnesses. Elf doctors are mainly responsible for various difficult and complicated diseases. This elven medical knowledge is difficult to learn and even more difficult to teach, but the village issued a strict order that elf doctors must be cultivated in large quantities. Leon was too busy to have time to have a baby, and the first one to be unhappy was Xiao. Xiao was unhappy, so she took her anger out on Ebizo. Ebizo was unhappy, so he took his anger out on Fugaku. And Fugaku was unhappy. He just held his anger. Xiao was also unhappy. There was nothing to do in the puppet class, so Xiao slacked off every day. Xiao waited for Leon at home every night, but he could never see his wife and had to stay alone in his empty room. Leon lives directly in the medical department. The medical department replaced the police department and became the busiest department in Sunagakure when his daughter-in-law was not around. Xiao remembered how good his son was, so Xiao ran to Luo Sha's house to visit Z and wanted to take Z back to live with him. Chapter 119, Hokage Battle. Dad, I don't want to go back. I want to stay at Brother Luo Sha's house. Scorpion sat under the banyan tree in the garden, hugging Moon Eevee, with Scorpio King leaning against his back, and ruthlessly rejected Xiao. Z, your grandma misses you very much, don't you miss your grandma? Scorpion rolled his eyes. Every weekend when he went home, Xiao would wish he would leave as soon as possible. Does Xiao look like someone who would miss him? Seeing that Z was indifferent, Xiao changed the topic and said, Z, your parents miss you too. Come home and stay for a while. Mom obviously lives in the medical department every day. I don't want to go back to sleep with you. You snore too loudly and it keeps me awake. Scorpion ruthlessly exposed the truth and complained about Xiao at the same time. Don't you usually sleep well? Xiao was shocked. In the past, when Scorpion came home and slept next to him, he never mentioned his snoring problem, because I could tolerate you when my mother was here, but now that my mother is gone, I don't want to sleep with you. At this time, Luo Sha came over holding Pikachu and watched this drama of loving father and filial son, brother. Luo Sha, when Scorpion saw Luo Sha coming, he immediately stood up and threw himself into Luo Sha's arms, pushing Sidic down. But Padalon was confused. He shook his head, looked at Scorpion, then turned around and threw himself into Xiao's arms. Brother Luo Sha, it's so nice here, and Sister Xiaonan accompanies me every day. I won't go back. You spend all day either slacking off in the puppetry class or playing poker. You don't study puppetry seriously, and your skills are not even as good as Mom's. If I go back, I can only play by myself, unlike here, where I have so many brothers and sisters. Scorpion continued to complain about Xiao. He didn't know why his mother liked his father. Maybe it was because his father had a good mother. Xiao received 10,000 critical hits and left Luo Sha's house in a daze. Hey, give me back my Sidic. 2 minutes later, Luo Sha realized that his duck was lost. He quickly chased after it and retrieved Pikachu from Xiao's arms. In Konoha, The competition for the position of Hokage is becoming increasingly fierce. Danzo seized on the fact that Hatake Tsukumo is the master of killing for 1,000 years and used it to discredit Hatake Tsukumo. The upper stream of Iwagakure's master is Hatake Tsukumo. Danzo suspects Hatake Tsukumo is a traitor and is secretly colluding with Iwagakure. What? You mean evidence? Danzo took out a pile of letters, all of which were written by Hatake Tsukumo and Kamisuk Ryuichi. He is a big shot, and he has to take the blame for a lot of things, so it is easy for him to frame others. The evidence was irrefutable and Hatake Tsukumo had no way to defend himself. In order to prove his innocence, he had to confront Iwagakure in public. Hatake Tsukumo wants to prove that it was Danzo who framed him. Could it be possible that Danzo could bribe Iwagakure? What Hatake Tsukumo couldn't have imagined was that Danzo couldn't bribe Iwagakure, but Tsunagakure could. Since Sand Village supports Danzo to become the fourth Hokage, they will naturally help Danzo bribe Iwagakure. Danzo had already prepared everything. He had coordinated the testimony with Iwagakure in advance, so there was no chance for Hatake Tsukumo to turn things around. Konoha sent a call request to Iwagakure and received Iwagakure's consent. Konoha and Iwagakure started a video conference, and Danzo took the lead in launching an attack. Tsuchikage, Hatake Tsukumo has a close relationship with the Uchiha of Iwagakure. I wonder if you are aware of this. Oh? Is this true? Pie is a genius from my Iwagakure village. How come he has a close relationship with a Konoha ninja? Anoki was very cooperative and asked the question, Tsuchikage, can you please call the Kamisuk Ryuichi for a confrontation? This will be good for both Konoha and Iwagakure. We must find out who betrayed the village. Danzo immediately concluded that someone must have betrayed his village. It's either Hatake Tsukumo or Kamisuk Ryuichi. Okay, I believe Pie will not betray Iwagakure. Anoki was silent for a moment, then agreed to Danzo's proposal. 10 minutes later, Shangshulo Pie joined the video conference. Many Jonin and Konoha were watching this video conference. Usuji Ryuichi pretended to be panicked and asked, Lord Tsuchikage, what's going on? Piichi, I wonder if you know anything about Hatake Tsukumo of Konoha. Of course, Master Hatake Tsukumo is my idol. I learned the 1,000 years of killing technique from him. Why did you learn the 1,000 years of killing technique from Hatake Tsukumo? Have you betrayed the village? Anoki's tone suddenly became stern, and Kamisuk Ryuichi, who was only a 14-year-old boy, immediately panicked. No, Lord Tsuchikage, don't you know about this? You were the one who asked me to contact Hatake Tsukumo. Shangshulo Pie burst into tears out of fear, looking as if he had suffered a great injustice. Pie, when did I ever order you to contact Hatake Tsukumo? Anoki's face darkened, but he quickly recovered. Didn't you say that if we help Hatake Tsukumo ascend to the position of the fourth Hokage, Konoha will cede 2 provinces to us? On the Konoha side, the atmosphere suddenly became quiet. Many people looked at Hatake Tsukumo with disbelief. But some people still have doubts. They don't believe that Hatake Tsukumo will betray Konoha. Danzo didn't wait any longer, hung up the phone, and went straight to Hatake Tsukumo. What else do you have to say? The evidence of your betrayal of Konoha is irrefutable, and this confrontation has only confirmed the fact of your betrayal. If you want to accuse someone of something, you can always find a pretext. I, Hatake Tsukumo, have lived my entire life with integrity. I will never admit to anything I haven't done. Hatake Tsukumo's words made more ninjas regain their senses. Everyone has seen what kind of person Hatake Tsukumo is, and they don't believe that Hatake Tsukumo will betray Konoha. Besides, everyone can see what kind of person Danzo is. What do you mean? Would Iwagakure lie on purpose? Would a 14-year-old kid lie on purpose? What good would lying do to Iwagakure? Danzo would never let Hatake Tsukumo turn the tables, so he quickly opened his mouth to question him. I always think this matter is too strange. A civilian Jonin spoke up. He had always been a supporter of Hatake Tsukumo. Yet, will Iwagakure be exposed so easily? Anoki is very shrewd. Maybe he is just putting on an act for us. Another civilian Jonin echoed. Unoki is a shrewd man. What does that have to do with Kamisuk Ryuichi? We suddenly initiated a video conference and Unoki was not prepared in advance, so Iwagakure was exposed. Isn't this normal, eh? Jonin from the Inazuka clan spoke up to refute, and he was obviously on the side of Shimura. Danzo, that's right. We have all the evidence. What else is there to discuss? The family faction began to speak out, and they all thought that Hatake Tsukumo was a rebel. Shimura Danzo promised them many benefits in advance, which moved them. The families formed a united front, and this time even the Uchiha got involved. There was a lot of excitement in the conference room, and the situation was clearly divided into two factions. Hatake Tsukumo looked at the family faction ninja in disbelief. As the head of the Hatake family, he used to be a colleague and friend of them. But for the sake of profit, they stabbed Hatake Tsukumo in the back. Hatake Tsukumo never expected that after dedicating his whole life to Konoha, he would be easily discredited by Danzo and end up with a stigma because, the position of Hokage, Danzo has done so many evil things, but there are still so many people supporting him. Hatake Tsukumo is extremely disappointed with the village. Is it worth it that he has spent his whole life for Konoha? Danzo kept guiding public opinion, while Hatake Tsukumo kept his head down and said nothing. The atmosphere became increasingly tense, and everyone noticed something was wrong with Hatake Tsukumo. I withdraw from the election for the position of Hokage. From now on, I will live in seclusion in the Hatake family and will no longer be a ninja. Hatake looked at Danzo Shimura. A murderous look flashed in his eyes, and Danzo couldn't help but shed 2 drops of cold sweat. Tsukumo took off the forehead protector, threw it on the table, stood up and left without looking back. Chapter 120, Tsukumo Retreats, The Hidden Snow Village. Hatake Tsukumo returned home and drank alone wherever the leaves are flying. The fire is endless. This is the way of ninja that he believed in all his life. His ninja way was broken. What is the meaning of his life? Hatake Tsukumo had empty eyes as he drank one cup after another. Tsukumo's wife, Hiranoki, looked at Hatake Tsukumo worriedly. She absolutely did not believe the rumors about Konoha. It was nothing more than Danzo's words to deceive the villagers in order to become the Hokage. Her husband loves Konoha so much and is now a candidate for Hokage. How could he do something to betray Konoha? Yuki couldn't bear to watch it anymore, so she grabbed Hatake Tsukumo's wine glass and put it aside. Tsukumo-kun, stop drinking. I have good news to tell you. I'm pregnant. You've been too busy lately. I was planning to tell you when you're free, Yuki held Hatake Tsukumo's hand and let Hatake Tsukumo touch her belly. Really? How old? The light in Hatake Tsukumo's eyes gradually returned and his tone was excited. He is the only one left in this generation of the Hatake family, and it has always been his wish to carry on the family tradition. 2 months, Yuki breathed a sigh of relief when she saw that Hatake Tsukumo seemed a little angry. When the baby grows up, Tsukumo-kun, you can be the child's teacher and teach him the Hatake swordsmanship. How about that, Yuki had a happy look on her face and whispered softly while leaning on Hatake Tsukumo's shoulder. Okay, the inheritance of the Hatake family cannot be cut off. Hatake. Tsukumo suddenly found the meaning of life again, and there was light in his eyes. The inheritance of the Hatake family lies entirely in him. If the family heritage is cut off, he will be ashamed of his ancestors from then on. Tsukumo retired and Konoha White Fang became a thing of the past. Tsukumo grew a beard, which, combined with his white hair, made him look much older, from a middle-aged man to an elderly man. There's an old man in Konoha village who does nothing all day long. After a period of turmoil in Konoha, Danzo Shimura was elected as the 4th Hokage by popular demand. Danzo, wearing the Hokage's hat, came to Sarutobi Hiruzen's grave alone to visit his old friend. Hiruzen, just watch, I will lead Konoha to greater heights. Danzo put down the bouquet and turned to leave. In March of the 32nd year of Tsunagakure, Kakuzu sent a message to Rasa through the Pokémon Encyclopedia, saying that he had completely taken control of the Snow Country. Kakuzu plans to return to the Sand Village to recuperate for a while and focus on training elves. After receiving the news, Luo Sha immediately got up and took Xiao Ai and the other 2 to the Snow Country. The Snow Country is located in the northwest corner of the Ninja Realm, adjacent to the Earth Country and the Demon Country. The Land of Snow has its own official ninja village, the Hidden Snow Village. The Hidden Snow Village is located high in the mountains of the Snow Country. Because it is far away from the center of the ninja world, the Hidden Snow Village is isolated from news and has little contact with the outside world. The strength of the Hidden Snow Village is average, with only 1,000 ninjas, but the Hidden Snow Village has special technological weapons, chakra armor. Chakra armor can greatly enhance the chakra amount of Chunin and Jinin, and can use A-level ninjutsu multiple times. Thanks to the chakra armor, the Hidden Snow Village possesses sufficient high-end combat power, enough to rank in the top 10 in the Ninja Village rankings. Kakuzu has already cleared the obstacles in the Snow Country, and all Rasa has to do is conquer the Hidden Snow Village. Luo Sha did not waste time on the road. He flew at high speed in the Rayquaza and headed straight for the snow country. As expected of a snow country, it's really cold, Zhuang. Yer was shivering with cold. The temperature in the wind country was high every day, and he had no thick clothes at all because Zongai was confident in his physical condition. He did not make any preparations for going out this time. Is it cold? Not at all. As Yukang spoke, fiery red chakra ignited on his body, dispelling the coldness. Zhongmi was speechless and choked. Yukang also did not prepare thick clothes, but she had fire attribute chakra, so it was easy for her to start a fire. Yukang is only 12 years old this year, but he has already shown an excellent figure. She particularly likes to wear backless clothes. As the leader of the flying unit and the Scorch release user, she is also a famous goddess figure in the Sand Village. Karula was wearing a warm cotton coat, and the little Isafu on her shoulder was put into Karula's pocket. Isafu is not afraid of the cold, but Karula thinks Isafu is Isafu could only put it in his pocket. Obediently, Karula also thoughtfully prepared clothes for Luo Sha while Xiao Ai was eating a lemon. Rasa put on her thick cotton coat. Among the 4 people in the group, only Zongai was freezing. Under Xiao Ai's pitiful gaze, Karula took out the second piece of clothing. Brother Xiao Ai, this is something I prepared extra for Rasa-kun. Why don't you put it on first? Ah, Jialo, you are still reliable. Zhongyu pinched his clothes with tears in his eyes, and looked extremely moved. After putting on his clothes, Zhongmi is full of energy. He complains that Aunt Wang next door has found a new young handsome man. This is Aunt Wang's 25th young handsome boyfriend. Aunt Wang also went to the Hyuga Ninja many times to collect sperm, and luckily she got pregnant with a child. 2 hours later, Zhongmi finally finished complaining about Aunt Wang, and the group arrived above the hidden snow village. Mutuo doesn't need to take action to conquer the hidden snow village, so Mutuo didn't come along this time. Luo Sha did not hide his whereabouts. He flew to the ground openly and arrived at the gate of the hidden snow village. The powerful pressure of Rayquaza enveloped the entire hidden snow village, and a middle-aged man led the snow ninjas to the scene quickly. The middle-aged man is the current leader of the hidden snow village, Fengzhu Yixin. He is 34 years old this year, with elite John in strength, and is known as the Wind and Snow Swordsman. Ishin Fuayuki is not only a powerful swordsman ninja, he can also use Ice Escape. Ice Release is the bloodline limit of the Karigakure Mizuno clan, and the origin of the Ice Release of the hidden snow village is unknown. Fengzhu Yixin saw Rayquaza, and he already knew the identity of the person in front of him. I am Fengzhu Yixin, the leader of the hidden snow village. Nice to meet you, Master Luo Sha. I wonder why you came to our hidden snow village. Fengzhu Yixin bowed and spoke neither humbly nor arrogantly. Captain, Fengzhu is a straightforward man, so I'll be frank. Pokémon has already developed to the snow country. I hope that the hidden snow village can help each other and form an alliance with the hidden sand village in the future. Sir, I wonder what Zuian, need to do. What happened to the hidden star village and the hidden bird village? Your hidden snow village should be the same as well. After hearing Luo Sha's answer, Fengzhu was in deep thought for a moment. The development of the star village and the bird village is obvious to all. If the snow village can board the big ship of the sand village, it will surely be able to develop better. However, there are gains and losses, and the hidden snow village will lose part of its sovereignty. No, the key point is that Zuian has no right to refuse at all. Lord Luo Sha, may we go into the village to discuss this in detail? Fengzhu Yixin bowed again, sending a signal that he agreed to the alliance. Of course, Chief Fengzhu, please. Luo Sha did not ask for too much. The treatment in the hidden snow village was the same as that in the hidden star village, and slightly lower than that in the hidden bird village. Tarigakure village is the top brother of Sand village and is guarded by Zap. As the negotiations went very smoothly and the Snow and Sand Alliance Treaty was officially signed, Ishin Fuayuki is a righteous ninja with good strength, management skills and personal charm, so the Sand village did not replace him. However, the Sand village couldn't really be at ease, so they sent several ninjas to the upper echelons of the Snow village. They have no real power, but they have supervisory power. Once the Snow village does something that goes against the Sand village, they can provide timely feedback to the Sand village. Chapter 121, Snow Kang Habitat, Conquering Articuno. Luo Sha placed one orange habitat and two blue habitats in his backpack into the Snow Kingdom. Luo Sha left the hidden snow village with the blueprints of the railway and chakra armor and went to the habitat area. Luo Sha placed the orange habitat in the Snow Kingdom because Luo Sha wanted to get Articuno Moltres and Zapdos are both out, and the only missing piece of the three stupid bird combination is Articuno. Besides, There is another reason in the Pokémon system. Pokémon Query, Space Backpack, Mall, Lottery, and Map all play a very important role. Only the achievement system would occasionally pop up an achievement and give Luo Sha a little reward. Luo Sha's currently lit special achievement has earned him 3% off coupons. The two red achievements are Rayquaza and Mewtwo, and both of them get Mega Evolution Stones. The rewards for orange achievements are mostly Mega Evolution Stones. The rewards for achievements below orange are more general, such as top-level Firestone, top-level Metal Film, top-level Charcoal. All these belongings and evolution stones were thrown into the corner by Luo Sha as legendary Pokémon. Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos each have an orange achievement. The three are combined into one, and there is also a red achievement, 3 Sacred Birds. Regarding the achievement of the 3 Sacred Birds, Luo Sha was a little curious about what he would get in order to satisfy his curiosity. Luo Sha prepared to materialize Articuno first. The orange habitat is called the Zukang habitat, located on the Zukang Mountains. The snow Pokémon habitat covers almost all Ice-type Pokémon. Sandslash, Alala, Ice Dragon, Dragonite, Metal Shell, Magma, Mamoswine, Icemart, Snow Maiden, Didus Sea Lion, Blizzard King, Tundra Bear, etc. The dominant Pokémon in the snowy habitat is LV77 Articuno, and Articuno has a tribe. There are 5 Articuno birds living on the top of Zukang Mountain. The ecology of the Yukang habitat is richer, with Pokémon of various attributes. The strength of the Zukang habitat is even stronger, and its high-end combat power is almost twice that of the Yukang habitat. The Snow Azure habitat has 3 shadow-level Pokémon, LV3 Articuno, LV77 Regis, and LV72 Ice Dragon. There are dozens of Elite Jonin-level elves. If a trainer wants to capture Pokémon in the Snow Blue habitat, he must have at least the strength of an Elite Jonin. Luo Sha's targets are Articuno and Regis, and 2 achievements can be unlocked after capturing them. Luo Sha will not bring the 2 Pokémon back to Sand Village. The Wind Country is not suitable for the long-term survival of Ice-type Pokémon, especially large Ice-type Pokémon. They still live in Zukang Mountain and have become one of the hidden external aids of the Sand Village. The Zukang Mountains are vast, and the area of their habitat reaches more than 70,000 square kilometers. In the mountains, the peaks stand tall and the snow falls heavily, but they give birth to countless miracles of life. According to the population division on the system map, Luo Sha searched in the Zukang Mountains for 2 days before he found Articuno on a hilltop. There is no unethical navigation. Bad review, name Articuno, gender, none, attribute, ice, flying features, snow hide, in hail weather, the dodge rate will increase. Level, LV77, late stage shadow level, individual, 4 volt, HP 31, attack 26, defense 31, special attack 31, special defense 22, speed 31, skills, absolute 0, blizzard, snow scene, ice beam, freeze drying, feather roost, high speed movement. Articuno has the ability to hide in snow, which is a very powerful ability in reality. In snowy weather, Articuno's speed can be increased in a blizzard. Articuno's silhouette will become vague or even disappear completely. The information of the other 4 Articunos also appeared in front of Luo Sha, all with individual values of 2 volt and 3 volt. As a member of a clan of mythical beasts, Articuno has a very high starting point. A leader of the Articuno tribe discovered the arrival of Luo Sha and his group and flew out of the cave. Wow, Articuno, I want to conquer you, Luo Sha didn't waste any words and directly stated his purpose. Defeat me, then I will recognize you. Rayquaza, come on, Luo Sha did not summon Metagross, but summoned Lugia's Phantom. Articuno is a good opponent, and it is a good opportunity to test Rayquaza's current strength. Rayquaza has powerful autonomous combat capabilities, and Rasa has no command. In terms of Nimbus level, Rayquaza is inferior, but in terms of combat power, Rayquaza will definitely win. Rayquaza has an individual value of 6 volt, and its racial value is higher than that of Articuno, and its combat power is far higher than that of Articuno. Articuno flapped its wings, snorted loudly, and performed the snow scene. The wind and snow on the snow-capped mountains have become stronger, and a blizzard has formed. Rayquaza has the airlock property and is not affected by blizzards. Taking this opportunity, Rayquaza used Dragon Dance to enhance itself. After Rayquaza's amplification is completed, it condenses a dragon wave and launches a preemptive attack. Articuno spits out Freezing Ray to fight against Rayquaza. The 2 beams collided, and Rayquaza used Slam to rush towards Articuno, engaging in close combat with Articuno. Articuno was not afraid at all and also used the sacrificial charge to face Rayquaza. Rayquaza's combat awareness is much higher than Articuno's. At the same time of the collision, Rayquaza swung its tail and swept its dragon tail towards Articuno's head. The dragon's tail attacked, and Articuno couldn't dodge in time, so he took the hit head-on. Articuno was beaten back for a distance, and Rayquaza took advantage of the situation to pursue it, condensing a true energy bullet and rushing straight towards Articuno's face. Articuno had just managed to steady his body and had no time to dodge, so he had to use his stand to take the attack. The stand is similar to the ninja stand technique. After Articuno dodged with his stand, he condensed a blizzard and attacked Rayquaza. Rayquaza's two skills are connected one after another, and while guarding, it condenses flames in its mouth. The blizzard had just dissipated when the big word explosion flame quickly took shape from Rayquaza's mouth. Wow, the counterattack launched by Rayquaza achieved excellent results, and Articuno took the full benefit of this double restraint attack. All of Articuno's beautiful feathers were burned, and it almost became a roasted chicken without training. Articuno's combat awareness is too poor. This is a crushing victory. Articuno is already at the end of his strength. Rayquaza seized the opportunity and used his ultimate move finishing touch in an attempt to end the battle. Articuno held his breath and also used his ultimate move Absolute Zero. Boom! The collision of skills produced a violent air wave. Fortunately, the two sides were fighting in the air, otherwise it would inevitably cause an avalanche. Articuno was slightly inferior. The blue light of Absolute Zero gradually dissipated, leaving only 20% of its strength to hit the body. Articuno falls from the sky and the battle ends. 4 Articunos flew out of the cave on the top of the mountain and surrounded the patriarch. Articuno has strength but no combat experience. Luo Sha sighed. It was obvious that Articuno had always lived in the snowy mountains and had rarely fought with humans in blizzard weather. And with the snow hiding feature, Articuno can attack from a distance, changing its position after each attack and constantly hiding its whereabouts. At that time, Rasa must cooperate with Rayquaza to perform the finishing touch to allow Rayquaza to Mega Evolve. Mega Rayquaza's Delta Airstream can stop the weather, allowing Rayquaza to win. However, Articuno actually chose to engage in close combat with Rayquaza, and the Snow Incarnation's characteristics were not brought into play at all. Luo Sha came to Articuno and used the power of Takua to heal Articuno's injuries. Articuno slowly opened its eyes, and all the charred feathers on its body fell off and new feathers grew. From roast chicken to noble Articuno, wow! Articuno stood up and rubbed Luo Sha affectionately. It has recognized Luo Sha. Luo Sha fired a luxurious ball, and Articuno turned into red light and entered the balding dog 3 times. Luo Sha successfully captured Articuno. The system's achievements also light up in red and orange. Luo Sha had previously passed Moltres from Yikang, and Moltres' achievement had already been lit up. Articuno is the last achievement of the 3 sacred birds. New achievement, conquering Articuno. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 1 Articuno Mega Evolution Stone. New achievement, 3 sacred birds. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the special item, 3 sacred stones. 3 holy stones, the treasure of the 3 holy birds, which contain 3 powers, freezing, burning, and lightning. Only the 3 holy birds that have reached the Super Shadow level are qualified to obtain these powers. Oh my god, it's a cheat. Chapter 122 Lottery, God of Frozen. Luo Sha released all the Pokémons and got to know Articuno a month ago. With the help of the autoplay system, Bangla reached the Shadow level and became the 2nd Shadow level Pokémon in Luo Sha's team. Bangira's posters were also hung in the Elf Hall, where he was hailed as the Desert Tyrant. Bangla's poster is placed 3rd, only after Mewtwo and Rayquaza. After getting to know the elves, Luo Sha decided to help Articuno reach the Super Shadow level. First, Zapdos is now LV 79. And its level is increasing as slowly as a snail, not even 1 level higher in a year. There is no way Luo Sha could take out the 2 magical candies when the level of Zapdos reaches LV 80. Luo Sha will put Zapdos in the idle column for a year to help Zapdos reach LV 81. Moltres is only LV 53 now. Yukang has been training very hard, but it will still take a long time for Moltres to reach Super Shadow level. Articuno is now at LV 77. If you drain Xiao Ai dry and activate Sage Mode for Articuno, it should be able to level up by 3, reaching LV 80. With 1 magical candy, Articuno can immediately enter the Super Shadow level sequence. Xiao Ai, help Articuno activate Sage Mode. Luo Sha pulled Xiao Ai in front of Articuno, and the two work together to output energy to Articuno. Xiao Ai skillfully outputs the 7 Tails Chakra, while Rasa outputs the power of Takua. Articuno was wrapped in 2 energies and felt his own strength slowly increasing. He immediately closed his eyes and absorbed it with all his strength. Articuno's talent is very high, and there is no sign of petrification at all. Luo Sha felt at ease and immersed part of his mind into the system space. Even if Articuno completes Sage Mode, he still cannot enter the Super Shadow level. Luo Sha has no magical candy now. Xiao Ai, it's time for you to show your talents. Let's make a deal. I want a magic candy. Luo Sha rubbed his hands together, speaking in a brotherly tone. Little love, if you don't answer, I'll take it as my consent. Luo Sha now has a huge sum of 25 billion yuan, and the 70 billion yuan of antiques from Jinduado have not yet arrived. 25 billion is equivalent to 2,500 million elf coins, which is enough to produce 2 red light balls. Luo Sha has seen through it all. Expecting to win the red habitat by lottery is nothing but a dream. Luo Sha started saving money now. He had 2 1% off coupons. With only million elf coins, he could get 2 red habitats. Those are 2 complete first level gods. But for the magic candy, I have to draw the lottery first. Luo Sha quickly clicked the 10 draw button, trying to crash Xiao Ai again. After spending 900 million elf coins, the first red light ball appeared. Luo Sha immediately stopped and began to check the prize. 10 orange light balls, a Regis Chilu elf egg and a magical candy appeared. Xiao Ai, I am my own god. Luo Sha excitedly shouted out a famous saying from his previous life and continued to check the rewards. Among the 100 purple rewards, there are 1 elf habitat and 1 geometric snowflake elf egg. The blue rewards include 3 elf habitats and 22 elf eggs. Collect these rewards together and pile all the others in a conspicuous place, so that you can pay more for sales when the time comes. Luo Sha's mind exited the system, and Articuno's Sage Mode has come to an end. There was no change in Articuno after it entered Sage Mode, except that its body size grew significantly, from 1.7 meters to 2 meters in height as expected. Articuno's level reached LV80. Articuno, how do you feel, Lee? Best ever. Eat this candy, and your level will be raised again. Entering the Super Shadow level, Articuno could feel that the magic candy was a treasure. He looked at Luo Sha with gratitude and swallowed the magic candy into his stomach. 3 seconds later, a wave emanated from Articuno, and signs of a breakthrough appeared on Articuno. Articuno's momentum is getting higher and higher, slowly reaching its peak. An energy wave far higher than the shadow level was transmitted, and Articuno became a Super Shadow level Pokémon. When Mutual broke through the 6 paths, there was no energy fluctuation at all. It was obvious that Mutual's control over energy had reached the pinnacle. Articuno is growing wildly and is clearly inferior in this aspect. After Articuno broke through, Luo Sha took out the 3 sacred stones. Articuno couldn't take his eyes off the 3 sacred stones. His small eyes were fixed on them. The 3 auras of the 3 holy stones are the 3 divine beauties recorded in their heritage. Articuno didn't expect that such an opportunity would fall upon it. Full priesthood authority, frozen. Clink, clench, clench. Articuno rubbed Luo Sha in a flattering manner and stretched its head onto the 3 sacred stones. Don't worry, it was originally given to you. Do you know how to absorb it? Luo Sha felt comfortable being rubbed and touched the bird's head. The feathers of the lightning bird are very hard and feel uncomfortable. Molter's feathers are very soft and warm to the touch. Articuno's feathers are also soft and feel good to the touch, but they are cold. Wow! Articuno nodded and took the Samshang stone over. On the 3 sacred stones, a blue light gradually lit up, emitting a mysterious and powerful aura. This blue light was like the source of life, flowing quietly and completely enveloping the figure of Articuno. The blue light slowly condensed into a huge sphere. The surface of the sphere was as smooth as a mirror without a single flaw, as if it was made of the purest ice crystals. The cold air emitted by the ball caused the surrounding air to condense into tiny ice particles, which fell down one after another. Luo Sha couldn't see Articuno's current situation, but on the Pokémon panel, Articuno's status was constantly updating. Name, Articuno. Gender, none. Attribute, ice. Flying features, snow. Hidden level, LV81. Clergy, freeze, 1%. Improving, individual, 4 volt, improving, skills, briefly frozen. Authority 1. It can change the climate of an area on a large scale, turning it into snowy weather. 2. Articuno's overall attributes are increased by 50%, and ice attacks are more likely to cause an additional freezing effect. The power of freezing is a very powerful output power as an ice-type Pokémon. Articuno's ice-type skills themselves have a 50% increase in power. Now it has gained an additional 50% increase, and its power has increased by 100%. When it snows, Articuno's attacks will be amplified by an additional 50%, reaching a 150% amplification effect. The most important thing is that Articuno's divine authority comes from the 3 holy stones. After Articuno becomes a god, he will not have any restrictions. Articuno can still fly around the ninja world. 3 days passed, and Luo Sha and the other 3 took turns standing by and waiting. Articuno stayed where he was, showing no sign of waking up, but Luo Sha knew that it was almost over. Clergy, freeze, 99%, improving, individual, 6 click, click. Suddenly, a tiny crack appeared on the top of the blue sphere, and then a blue light shone from the crack. This ray of light, like the brightest star in the night sky, instantly attracted Luo Sha's full attention. As time went on, the cracks became bigger and bigger, and finally, the entire sphere broke apart completely. Articuno exuded an icy aura as it flew out of the sphere, rushing towards the sky at an astonishing speed and reaching high above. Wow! The snowflakes that were still falling miraculously stopped falling at this moment. The snow in the entire snow country has stopped. A ray of sunshine shines through the clouds onto the earth, bringing a rare touch of warmth to this country covered with ice and snow. Articuno becomes the first true divine beast in the ninja world. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 123 Registered Disciple. Articuno flew around in the sky for a moment, then flew down from the sky and landed in front of Luo Sha. Wow! Articuno chirped softly and rubbed Luo Sha affectionately. There was no change in Articuno's appearance, but there was a blue halo flashing behind it, and the coldness coming from its body was much more obvious than before. Luo Sha shivered when Articuno rubbed him and felt very cold. Congratulations, Articuno. I will stay for a while and train you. You only have strength now, but you are not yet capable of independent combat. Luo Sha pushed Articuno away, otherwise he would freeze if he rubbed against him any further. Wow! Articuno nodded and stood aside obediently. For the next month, Luo Sha and his 3 companions stayed in the snow country. Luo Sha returned to the hidden snow village and planned to select a snow ninja with outstanding talents to be his registered disciple in the future. The hidden snow village will be controlled by this registered disciple. What Luo Sha didn't expect was that Feng Zhu Yixin recommended 2 young men, Feng Hua Zhaoxu and Feng Hua Nuteo. The identities of these 2 young men are extraordinary. They are princes of the Snow Kingdom and brothers. Luo Sha remembers Feng Hua Nuteo, the villain of the Snow Country in the original work. He was ambitious, killed his brother to seize the throne, and had evil intentions. Feng Hua Zhaoxu is Feng Hua Zhaoxu's father. As for who he is, Luo Sha doesn't know. Feng Zhu Yixin would recommend them, obviously because of his status. But both of them are indeed extremely talented, and both have awakened the ice release bloodline limit. Luo Sha decided to test the 2 and let them fight each other in order to win. Feng Hua Nuteo used every move to be fatal, without caring at all that Feng Hua Zhaoxu is his brother. Feng Hua Zhaoxu avoided everywhere and would not attack with a fatal force. Feng Zhu was watching the battle from the side and couldn't help but frown. He was entrusted by the daimyo of the Snow Country to focus on improving the 2's strength and did not pay attention to the personalities. Unexpectedly, Feng Hua Nuteo could be so cruel to his own brother. Luo Sha felt extremely disgusted with Feng Hua Nuteo. If this is the case for brothers, what about other people? What about Pokémon? Feng Hua Nuteo is already a teenager, and it is impossible for him to change his character. Small bad things can be corrected, but big evils are incurable in the end. Feng Hua Zhaoxu was defeated without any suspense under Feng Hua Nuteo's excited eyes. Luo Sha came to the 2 of them. Feng Hua Zhaoxu, are you willing to be my registered disciple? Although the scene of a young boy taking another young boy as his apprentice seems incongruous, no one would find it strange. This is the god of ninja world accepting a disciple. Feng Hua Zhaoxu pointed at herself in disbelief, and when she saw Luo Sha nod, she immediately knelt down and kowtowed. Disciple. Feng Hua Zhaoxu greets the master. No need for so much etiquette, just get up. Luo Sha immediately helped Feng Hua Zhaoxu up. It was his first time to accept a disciple, and Luo Sha felt a little excited. Feng Hua Nuteo's eyes were filled with resentment and jealousy that almost burst out of the screen, and he could not help but angrily said, "Why? I'm the winner. Why don't you accept me as your disciple?" but accept a loser as your disciple. I accept disciples without considering their abilities, and you are not worthy of my explanation. Luo Sha raised his eyes and looked at Feng Huanutao with cold eyes and murderous intent. Gold sands emerged and bound the wind, flowers and waves. A rope of gold dust was wrapped around Feng Huanutao's neck, and his face turned red from being strangled. He is suffocating. Feng Huanutao looked at Feng Huaxiaoxa with pleading eyes. He didn't want to die, Master. My brother didn't mean to contradict you. Please be magnanimous and forgive him this time. Feng Huaxiaoxa couldn't bear to see her brother being killed when she saw his pleading eyes, so she knelt down and kowtowed. Luo Sha looked at Feng Huaxiaoxa and fell silent. After all, they are brothers, Lord. Luo Sha, please forgive Feng Huanutao this time. I will definitely discipline him in the future. Feng Su. Yixin also knelt on one knee and pleaded for Feng Huanutao. Feng Huanutao is the prince of the Snow Kingdom and cannot die in the hidden snow village. How should he explain when the daimyo of the Snow Country pursues the matter later? Ugh, Luo Sha sighed. Now is not the time to kill Feng Huanutao. At least not in public. The gold sand dissipated. Feng Huanutao touched his neck with both hands, lay on the ground and breathed deeply. Feng Huanutao lowered his head and stared at the ground. Where no one could see, hatred flashed in his eyes. After Luo Sha gave the geometric snowflake elf egg and the elf encyclopedia to Feng Huaxiaoxa, he stayed in the hidden snow village for 7 days and personally taught Feng Huaxiaoxa. Xiao Ai's foundation is very solid, and Luo Sha has nothing to teach him during these 7 days. Luo Sha mainly taught the ninjas how to fight in cooperation with the elves. Feng Huaxiaoxa has the ability of ice escape and is in the snow country, so he can definitely form a snow team in reality. The snow team's range killing capability is not inferior to that of the sandstorm team. I'm leaving now. If you have any questions in the future, you can contact me through the elf encyclopedia. Yes, Master. At the gate of the hidden snow village, Luo Sha said goodbye to Fukasaluki and left with Xiao Ai and the other two. Luo Sha did not leave the territory of the snow country. He still needed to train Articuno. The group of 4 walked and stopped, traveling and training at the same time, and toured the snow country. After Articuno becomes a super shadow level Pokemon, Rayquaza is no match for Articuno. In order to train Articuno, Luo Sha called Mewtwo over. Mewtwo used instant teleportation and arrived in front of Luo Sha in less than half an hour. Articuno's fighting skills have greatly improved in this month. All of them were beaten out. Liudeo beats Xiao Ai like a father beating his son. Articuno possesses an enhanced power of freezing and is one of the strongest among the first level super shadows. But facing the 6 realms, it is still far from enough. Today, Articuno knows how to use its wings, claws, and beak to attack simultaneously in close combat. Articuno is also very skilled in utilizing snow hidden. In blizzard weather, Articuno is like an assassin, attacking while moving from a distance. The enemy has no way of determining Articuno's location. Even if you can sense its location, you may not be able to hit Articuno. In addition to Articuno, Rosa also captured Regis. Regis is an iceberg Pokemon and one of the 3 sacred pillars. The 3 sacred pillars are also a clan of divine beasts, and are also Luo Sha's established target. Regice brought a new achievement to Rosa. New achievement, conquering Regice. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 1 Glacier Gem, an exclusive item for Regice. If Regice wears it for a long time, his level can be slowly increased. It is valid for 10 years. Regis cannot Mega Evolve, and the reward has changed from Mega Stone to exclusive item like Articuno. Regice has no combat experience from childhood to adulthood. It has been sleeping on the snow-capped mountains, like a stone. If Luo Sha hadn't arrived, Regice would have continued to sleep. Regice was trained hard for a month with Articuno. As Rayquaza's opponent, Regice's light was dimmed after being beaten so hard. Regice and Articuno are 2 brothers in distress. In this month, their friendship has been broken up. The 2 elves who shared the same pain became sworn brothers, Articuno being the eldest brother and Regis being the second younger brother. After being beaten every day, they would gather together to see who was more miserable. 1 month, a whole month. God knows how they survived. Now that Rosa is planning to leave, Articuno and Reggie are both reluctant to let her go. Although Regice's expression could not be seen, the lights on Regice's face flashed faster. The 2 elves looked at Luo Sha's departing back and their sadness immediately turned into joy. Articuno couldn't suppress the smile on his face, and Reggie's light was still flashing rapidly. Finally gone. Before leaving the snow country, Luo Sha did a trivial thing. 3 days later, The news that the second prince of the Snow Kingdom died at the hands of robbers spread throughout the country. Fenghuo Zhaoxu ran back to the Snow City to attend Fenghuo and Nuteo's funeral. After this incident, the daimyo of the Snow Country has been sending troops to capture the robbers, but with little success. As for the robber who killed Fenghuo and Nuteo, it is said that he fled for fear of crime and has left the Snow Kingdom. Chapter 124, Conquering 4 Villages, Hanzo enters the sand. After leaving the Snow Country, Mutuo was concerned about the research and teleported back to the experimental base in the Sand Village. Luo Sha and his other 3 did not return to the Sand Village, but came to the country of mountains. Luo Sha plans to conquer the 4 ninja villages, Kajero Village, Tokigakure Village, Kusagakure Village, and Omegakure Village. Now the Sand Village has no energy to manage these 4 ninja villages, nor does it have the energy to develop these 4 countries, but Tsunagakure can prepare for the future and conquer the small ninja village near the Wind Country first. When I have more energy in the future, I will develop these areas. Since an elf alliance is being formed, these small ninja villages naturally cannot escape. The first ninja village that Rasa arrived at was Kajero Village. After Kajero Village was taught a lesson by Konoha, only about 800 people were left. It has not yet recovered, and Yangain Village has been closed for a long time. The villagers alone cannot quickly replenish the number of ninjas. However, Yangain Village could not recruit any reserve ninjas from the outside world. Konoha Village is hostile to Kajero Village, and the daimyo of the mountain country also hates Kajero Village. Yangain Village is now in a difficult situation after seeing how dangerous the world is. The people of Yangain Village are now very low-key. I didn't expect that there would be a big ninja village willing to accept them. Still the largest ninja village. When Luo Sha arrived, they had no intention of resisting. Yang Shuo, the leader of Yangain Village, cried out of breath. He could not face the reality and could not wait to launch a war against Konoha as soon as he came to power. This blind and impulsive behavior brought Yangain Village into endless darkness. Over the past 6 months, he has felt extremely remorseful and guilty. He has been trying to find ways to save Yang Village, but the daimyo of the mountain country and the Konoha ninjas have been obstructing his actions. Now, Yangain Village is finally saved. After Luo Sha and Yang Shuo signed the Yangain Annex Treaty, Luo Sha left Yangain Village. Yangain Village really has no useful assets, so Luo Sha naturally won't stay there. Yang Shuo announced the news of his surrender to Sand Village to the outside world on the same day, and Yangain Village officially became a subordinate ninja village of Sand Village. The daimyo of the mountain country could no longer sit still, and personally came to Yangain Village to apologize to Yang Shuo. Konoha also stopped its secret actions, and all the Konoha ninjas lurking in the mountain country received transfer orders and immediately returned to the village. Luo Sha's second stop was Kusagakure Village. The Kusagakure Village is a fence-sitter. When Uehara-sama saw Luo Sha, he bowed down to him and even prepared an ancillary agreement in advance. Luo Sha can also add various supplementary clauses. Uehara Kusanergi's outrageous move made it impossible for Luo Sha to deal with it. The Kusagakure village is well versed in the art of licking dogs, and since its establishment, it has never been at odds with any major ninja village. The fact that Kusagakure village has been able to develop rapidly shows that it has some ability just by licking it with this one move. Luo Sha's impression of the Kusagakure village improved significantly. Who asked the Kusagakure village to lick him? Luo Sha left Kusagakure village comfortably and went to his next destination, Tokigakure village. As the leader of Tokigakure village, Shibuya accepted the Tokigakure Annex Treaty tactfully. Tokigakure does hate Tsunagakure, but it hates Konoha even more. Tsunagakure is the executioner of Tokigakure's decline. How can Tokigakure not hate him? But Konoha's act of abandoning Tokigakure was tantamount to rubbing Tokigakure's face on the ground. Tokigakure gave up its former pride as the 6th ninja village and surrendered to Konoha, but in return Konoha ignored it. At this point, Tokigakure would rather submit to Tsunagakure than to Konoha like Shulin and Yang Shuo. The news was announced on the same day. Tokigakure is no longer affiliated with Konoha and has found a bigger supporter. Luo Sha's 4th stop was the Hidden Rain village. Hanzo of the Salamander was a sensible man. When he saw Rasa coming, he did not resist, but started negotiations to get a better subsidiary treaty for Yugakure. Just the presence of Rasa, Rikuza, and Xiao Ai in front of him are enough to make him die 800 times. Besides, Hanzo of the Salamander felt that this was a good opportunity for the development of the Hidden Rain village. The village of Torin'i and the village of Hashigakure are making a lot of money following the example of the village of Sanjakure and are developing better and better. Even if the two villages cannot be said to be wealthy, they are well off in this war-torn ninja world, especially for the people of small countries. It is normal to have insufficient food and clothing, Many people died of hunger and disease. The bird country, the river country and the bear country, with the support of the sand village, are developing against a trend. The living standards of the entire country have improved, and the strength of the ninja village has also increased following Tsunaga cure. There is meat to eat. This is an opportunity for the rain country. As long as the hidden rain village is not abolished, Hanzo of the Salamander will let the hidden sand village do whatever it wants. Considering the combat power of Hanzo of the Salamander, which is at the level of Kage, Luo Sha plans to recruit him under his command. The hidden rain village has been at war all year round. In the early days, Hanzo had a longing for peace, cared about civilians, and cherished talents. He was a good leader and was even honored as a demigod. However, as time went by, Hanzo gradually realized that he could not realize his ideal of peace in the ninja world, and his persistence was gradually eroded, and his original intention had long since disappeared. Hanzo has been at the pinnacle of power for a long time, and his pursuit of power and status has become fanatical. The future Hanzo begins to be wary of anyone who might threaten his position, and eliminates them without mercy. But that is a matter for the future. Right now, Hanzo still longs for peace. Hanzo, I can promise you that after the 8 provinces of the Wind Kingdom are developed, the next priority will be to develop the Rain Kingdom, but you need to join the Sand Village and call yourself a Sand Village Ninja. Luo Sha looked directly at Hanzo and said solemnly. Hanzo fell into deep thought. If the Rain Country could be peaceful and the people could live a stable life, it would be fine for him to join the Sand Village. Okay, but I need to continue to serve as the leader of the Hidden Rain Village and stay in the Hidden Rain Village at other times. If there's anything in the Hidden Rain Village, you can contact me and I will not refuse. Mr. Hanzo, welcome to the Sand Village. Luo Sha smiled and held out his hand. Hanzo smiled slightly, and without hesitation stretched out his hand and shook hands tightly with Luo Sha. The surrounding rain ninjas watched this scene quietly. With a glimmer of hope for the future in their eyes, they knew that the Hidden Rain Village was about to enter the fast lane of development. And let us sign a subsidiary treaty. The signing of the Omega Cure Subordination Treaty declared the Omega Cure Village to become the new younger brother of the Sand Village. The Sand Village also gained a cage-level warrior, Hanzo of the Salamander. Hanzo was very tactful and took off the Forward Protector of Omega Cure and put on the Forward Protector of Tsunaga Cure. The Treaty of Rain Village is far superior to that of the other 3 ninja villages, and is the same as that of Star Village and Toragi Village. The Sand Village will send ninjas to help the Rain Village, open a Pokemon shop in the Rain Village, and develop the Pokemon industry. Luo Sha rummaged through the system backpack and found 1 toxic algae dragon elf egg and 1 super bait star elf egg. This is the elf egg obtained in the lottery in the Snow Country. Luo Sha has been keeping it in the system backpack. This batch of elf eggs can last up to 3 months in the incubator. After 3 months, the elf will break out of the shell on its own. Luo Sha took out 2 Pokemon eggs and handed them to Hanzo. Hanzo is a master of poison and is suitable for poison-type Pokemon. Toxapeus is a poison and dragon-type Pokemon of blue quality, with a race stat of 494 and outstanding special defense. Super Smite is a poison and water-type Pokemon of blue quality with a race stat of 495 and outstanding physical defense and special defense. Hanzo gladly accepted it. He accepted the favor from Rasa, which meant that he was willing to return to the Sand Village. If he betrays in the future, he will be condemned by everyone and his reputation will be ruined. Luo Sha's trip was very smooth. Within a month, 4 small ninja villages surrendered one after another. The 4 statements spread throughout the ninja world one after another, and all major ninja villages remained silent. The daimyos of the 4 countries dared not say a word, as the river country was a lesson for them. They are lucky enough to be able to keep their position as daimyo. Chapter 125 Grayer's Stone, Small Diamonds. After Luo Sha returned to the Sand Village, he started a new round of infrastructure construction. The first was the Regis Chariot Pokemon Egg, which Luo Sha gave to Xiao Ai. Xiao Ai is a Steel-type expert, and Regis Chilu can become Xiao Ai's main force in the future. The second is the Chakra Armor technology of the Snow Country, which Rasa gave to Orochimaru for Orochimaru. It was not difficult to make Chakra Armor with the ready-made blueprints. However, the cost of Chakra Armor is not low. One of its materials, conductive ice crystals, is extremely rare, which makes the armor unable to be used on a large-scale. Advanced equipment will naturally be given priority to elite ninjas. The 5 elite forces of Sand Village are now ranked as follows: Steelix Force, Kuma Force, Flying Force, Venusaur Force, and Scorpion Force. According to the plan, These elite ninjas will all be able to wear chakra armor within 2 years. The third is railway trains, which are the most valuable technology for the Wind Kingdom. The train was born in the context of the ninja world. Its body is made of wood, and it has mechanisms inside that can launch a large number of kunai. The wooden body makes the train slower and less durable. Especially in the environment of the Kingdom of Wind, wooden car bodies are damaged faster due to wind and sand erosion. The Kingdom of Wind has a large number of metal veins. Luo Sha plans to change the body of the train into iron sheets and use chakra as the power source to create a high-speed and durable train. As for why it is not powered by oil, as for oil, even if Luo Sha could dig crude oil out of the ground, he didn't know the refining technology using chakra as the power source is what makes the ninja world unique when it comes to objects that can provide chakra energy. The first thing that comes to Rosa's mind is the gray stone. The gray stone contains a large amount of chakra energy, and ancient people even use this mineral to build a huge super civilization. The gray stone is a treasure that appears in the movie, but Luo Sha doesn't know its exact location. However, finding things in the ninja world is not a problem for Rosa. Relying on the huge white Zetsu army, Rosa received the news of the Grail Stone within a month. The mine of Grail Stone is at the border of the River Kingdom and the Wind Kingdom, not far from the coastline. This is a forest, and deep in the forest stands a towering rocky mountain. The stone of Glenelg is hidden beneath this rocky mountain. Luo Sha set off again with his team, heading straight for the Grail mine. With Baizetsu leading the way, Luo Sha and the other three soon arrived at the bottom of the rocky mountain and saw a dark cave entrance. Gararu released a Lakism, and a Lakism used flash to walk in front of everyone and illuminate the cave. Luo Sha and his three companions walked slowly along the passage. After walking for a while, they came to a lift. The lift looked somewhat rotten and covered with traces of time, but it was still able to function normally. After Luo Sha reached the bottom by elevator, he passed through a long tunnel. The tunnel is filled with an old atmosphere, and the walls are painted with ancient murals. At this moment, a magnificent underground palace suddenly appeared before them. Each level of the underground palace extends deeper into the ground, and there are many ruins scattered around the stairs. From these remaining relics, it can be inferred that ancient civilization once had a fairly high level of development. The four continued to walk down the stairs and came to the end of the stairs. The underground square. In the center of the square stands a unique small round platform. There is nothing special about this small cone, but if you look closely, you will find that there is a strange stone in the center of the cone. The stone emitted energy fluctuations, and Luo Sha could clearly sense the chakra contained in it, the Stone of Grail. The small round platform is similar to an altar, which can transmit the chakra energy of the gray stone to the underground palace. This Grail Stone provides the energy needs of an entire ancient civilization. Luo Sha walked forward and looked at the altar carefully. The complex patterns carved on it should be the key to energy conduction. Luo Sha reached out and took down the gray stone, but the altar did not respond. Is it just a device? No, the energy fluctuations in this place have changed. After Luo Sha acquired superpowers, his perception became so sharp that chakra was emanating from the grooves of the gray stone. Luo Sha used Earth Escape, earth-flowing river, to soften the land within a 3-meter radius under his feet. The land continued to turn into mud and flow outward, and the true appearance of the land under the feet gradually revealed. Such a rich chakra energy! Why couldn't I sense it before? Xiao Ai exclaimed in amazement. As the Seven-Tails Jinchuriki, his perception of chakra was extremely sharp, but he had not noticed the chakra fluctuations under his feet before. It's the altar. The altar seals the escape of chakra, making it impossible for us to sense it. Under our feet is the vein of Grailstone. The land stopped moving, and a faint light gradually lit up from underneath, gathering together to form a huge ball of light. In the ball of light, countless crystal-clear Grailstones emitting strange light emerged, densely filling the entire space. The altar emanates rich chakra energy, exactly the same as the dragon veins. Luo Sha suddenly had a premonition that if he placed a habitat here, there might be unexpected gains. Luo Sha did what he thought and placed the purple habitat in his backpack onto the rocky mountain, including the palace under the rocky mountain. Zongaya and the other two were Luo Sha's confidants, and Luo Sha's actions were not hidden from them. Suddenly, a powerful natural energy storm surged around and swept over at an astonishing speed. Luo Sha could sense countless shining lights and strange energy fluctuations in the storm. The energy dissipated, and small diamonds appeared all over the underground palace, and just then a small diamond appeared in front of everyone. Zongmi and the other two widened their eyes unconsciously. They could not sense the natural energy. In their vision, it seemed as if elves appeared out of thin air before their eyes. So amazing. It's Expected of Luo Sha-kun. Hi. 3 voices sounded at the same time, expressing the shock of the 3 people. Sure enough, there are small diamonds. No, it seems that there are only small diamonds in the underground palace. Luo Sha opened the system map and found that the little diamonds were the only elf group in the underground palace. There are many elf groups on the Rocky Mountains. Ah, is this the little diamond? So beautiful. Yukang's eyes were full of stars, and he rushed over and hugged the nearest small diamond in his arms, sparkling. Diamond Karula was a little reserved for a moment, then quickly walked to Yukang's side in small steps and touched the diamond on the small drill bit. Being stared at by 2 people, Little Diamond trembled and was extremely scared. The little diamond tried to escape from the clutches of the 2 men, but it had no arms or legs and could not break free. Luo Sha also discovered this small diamond and checked the elf information out of habit: name small diamond, gender none, attribute rock, fairy characteristics eternally pure, body level LV 66, individual 5 volt, HP 31, attack 30, defense 31, special attack 31, special defense 31, speed 31, skills, impact, harden, power gem, rock slide, rock polishing, light wall, primal power. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.